Before there was light, there was darkness. Before there was order. An endless war between the gods and their enemies. A war the gods could not win. Till a champion arose, wielding a weapon of otherworldly power. The war was won, the enemy banished, but the weapon was shattered, its fragments scattered across the new-formed world. Now, thousands of years later, many seek the fragments of that long-lost weapon. Among them, our 5 brave heroes. The druid, troubled by dreams and his own temper. The blacksmith turned warrior in search of revenge. The raider, determined to protect her friends and her growing family. The traveller from a distant land, guardian of those down on their luck. And the girl, willing to sell her soul for a taste of adventure. Their hunt will take them to distant and dangerous lands, far beyond the borders of Isfjell.
Oh, and welcome! A slight false start there. We have a slightly reduced gang tonight due to various medical emergencies and non-emergencies, and it's been an unfortunate week by the sounds of it. Hopefully, we'll get the full gang back together next week. We do have more than were appearing a moment ago. I thought the rest had run away whilst I wasn't looking and just left me with Chael, which is not safe. Like, for me.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
But yeah, so we've got Bova, Moira and Chael here today, and we'll find out what's happened to the rest of the gang hopefully next week. But last week our heroes managed to, if not defeat, at least drive off the mage Venli in her dragon form, and then they made their way across the very kind of grim landscape of a place that's been referred to either as Hell or the Fell or the Realm of the Dead. General agreement, not a particularly pleasant place. Along the way, they ran into a lost soul. They ran into Elanthrus, the drow, who was after an apology from Aldous for killing him. Things got slightly heated for a while, but managed to be pretty much resolved without any more murder. And our heroes headed on, following this light in the distance that led them into the ruins of this vast city, this crumbling city, and this portal, this crack leading back into the material plane. They also had a brief encounter with a dragon, or a shadow of a dragon called Fafnir, who was guarding his treasure, which they determined was most likely a shard of the crystal wand. But they didn't manage to lay hands on it, but they know where it is. As, of course, does Venli. But deciding to withdraw from the challenge of the dragon for now, the party stepped through this tear in reality, this portal into the darkness beyond. And so, we pick up on a dark and snowy street in this narrow, dark courtyard between stone buildings with snow-covered roofs, there's icicles hanging off them. Like it all looks a bit run down. There's a glimmer of candlelight here and there shining through cracks in shutters, and 3 figures sort of drop out of midair, about probably like 2 feet off the ground, with soft thud as Eira, Torvald, and Cressara land in the snow. Now, Cressara, your memory is a little addled. The occurrence of the last day is a bit hazy to you. You feel like you've been sort of not quite yourself, but now you're shocked back to your senses almost by the cold of the snow as you hit the ground. And the three of you are in this courtyard. There is no sign of either Aldous or Adair.
Oh, well, that wasn't pleasant.
No. Is everyone all right? Where are the others?
What do you mean? Where are Adair and all this?
Yeah, where are they?
Is it possible they went through a different portal and we weren't looking? No?
I don't think so.
Well, they're probably around here nearby.
Well, portals can be funny, that's for sure. I don't see any footprints or anything.
No, there's the snow around you. The courtyard itself is probably only about 10 by 15 feet or so. It's quite a small courtyard, but the snow looks to be pretty freshly fallen. You could smell in the air this sort of salt sea smell that you smell through the portal from the other side. And there's still a few flakes of snow drifting down. But wherever you are, it's definitely still winter.
Well, I certainly like this place better than where we just were, that's for sure. Feels like home.
Does remind me. Ira, are you all right?
Yes, I'm very uncomfortable by the fact that we are no longer a complete group, but I think they should be nearby, and we can find them, and everything will be fine. What landmarks are near us? And Ira will start, spinning in circles, trying to find the nearest, big thing.
Okay, so you can sort of look past sort of the rooftops of this courtyard.
Yeah.
And as you look out, you can see it is night time, and you can see the moonlight shining on the roofs, and you can just make out behind these immediate rooftops some quite taller buildings. You can see in one direction this it seems to be a tower rising up. Another has a strange sort of half dome. Another a pointed roof. It seems this very odd mismatch of unmatched roofs all around you. None of which seem familiar, but a few look almost familiar in style. Like that one over there almost reminds you of your hometown, and that one a couple of rooftops away looks more thatched, almost in an Isfjellian style. But it's a bit of an odd mismatch, really.
I don't know if I like where we are anymore. Do you all recognize any landmarks, areas?
Do I recognize anything?
No.
None of it looks familiar to me.
Well, I'd imagine if the others came through too, they'd head over there towards those houses. Maybe we should make our way over there.
Maybe there's people there and we can get some more information about where we are.
And as you're having this, you can hear running footsteps coming towards you
I'll turn towards them.
down this narrow alley, and rushing out of the darkness, you see a young dwarf. She's got a cloak sort of in one hand and a knife in the other, and she's looking around sort of quite panicked and goes, "Shit, it's a dead end!" Ah,
Why are you running?
can I hide behind you? You didn't see me.
You don't typically let people with daggers behind your
Oh,
back.
sorry. No
Usually
dagger.
ends poorly.
No dagger. But
Are you trying to escape the law?
no, definitely not.
Is she telling the truth?
Make me an insight check.
Insight check.
Like, no. You can hear other footsteps coming. Like, sounds like more of them crunching through the snow
13.
further off down the alley. She definitely seems very twitchy about something, but it's hard to get a pin on what. But yes, she's running from something, and is guilty about something.
What did you do?
I don't have time to explain. Look, I can pay you if you like help me, hide me, pretend you never saw me. I've got a bag of gold. I can pay you, like all of it, like all of it.
An entire bag of gold. Well, that's intriguing. What exactly is chasing you?
Oh, a necromancer?
All right, get behind us.
Yeah.
All right.
And she sort of scuttles in, sort of more behind Krasara, and hunches down as you hear crunch, crunch, crunch of footsteps coming closer in the snow.
Hello, friend.
And Frey, come out, wherever you are. I know you went that way. It's a dead end. Come out now, and we won't need to make this messy. And you see, this dark-skinned woman with a massive, like, dark curly hair and a correct necromantic long black cloak steps in through the alley, and you hear this sort of scraping, clicking noise behind her, and you see she's flanked on either side by a pair of skeletons kind of following along behind her. Sorry to bother you. Have you seen a thief?
Well, it depends on what you define a thief as. We didn't see anyone steal anything, that's for sure.
Rephrase. Did you see a young dwarf run this way?
What way?
Dwarf?
Dwarf.
Are those little short, fluffy things?
You're standing
Hey.
next to one.
From what I understand, the one we're standing next to is
No, different dwarf.
not like old, but like probably not young.
What's that supposed to mean?
I was whispering. You weren't supposed to hear.
Well, I'm very perceptive, thank you.
It comes with age. Has she left yet?
No, she's still standing there, sort of looking.
I imagine we can pick her back and forth until she decides to leave.
Is she
What did
wearing?
we steal from
Is she
you?
wearing green?
No, black.
Oh, yeah.
Does she have freckles? No, I'm just kidding.
And she sort of scans over the three of you, and I want whoever's taking the lead in this conversation to give me a deception check, please. And if the other two are backing you up, you can have help. But
Who's in charge of the conversation?
Ira.
Great.
I'll back you up, Ira.
I'm gonna roll on roll 20 because my dice have been misplaced
Ruh-roh.
temporarily.
oh.
By misplaced, I mean they're not at my desk and I don't want to get up.
That's a valid excuse.
Let's see.
Inconveniently located.
Yes,
Yes.
not misplaced.
It's like, they're on the other side of the room. Yeah,
Deception,
I'm
you
gonna
said?
I
With
have to reach
advantage?
Deception.
across my desk here.
With advantage, we'll roll again.
You've got advantage, yeah.
Right.
Well, Sorry to bother you, travellers.
What did they steal? We can keep an eye out for you.
A book. Very valuable.
Well, the knowledge that they're receiving from that book is probably more valuable than the book itself, so perhaps they've earned it.
I do not have time for this. She sort of turns around with an exaggerated sweep of her cloak and marches back out. The skeletons following on behind her.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, God.
You're lucky we don't like necromancers very much.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Right.
particularly like thieves either, though.
I can explain.
Tell the truth. Or you'll regret it. I promise.
She sort of looks around at the three of you. Short story. I stole a book from her boss. Didn't really realise it was that valuable. I sold it. And now they know I stole it. They want me to give it them back, but I don't have the book anymore.
Where did you sell it?
Stole it to one of the merchants down on the docks, one of the international ones.
Did you read the book before you sold it?
Flicked it open. It was some, I don't know, magic bollocks.
Then why did you steal it?
It had gold on the cover edges and like fancy embossing. It looked valuable.
I feel like it would be easier to steal just actual gold, would it not?
I couldn't find any. Look.
Oh.
For people who don't like thieves, you seem to be awfully like good at offering advice.
I just like to talk to people. Have you seen a younger woman who has a cat, a very fluffy cat, as well as a older man that looks like he sleeps in trees?
No, not together. I mean, I've seen a fair few people who look like they sleep up trees.
That's a good start. Do they turn into badgers?
Some of them. Well, one of not
there are
badger.
multiple Adaires. Wow.
I mean, there's some weird druids up near Twilight Hall. Like,
Oh, where are we, by the way? That should have been my first question.
Verandra?
Where is that?
In the Western Lands?
We are from Isfjell. Well, I'm from Chorus, but
Oh, I know where Chorus is. Yeah, we are like way west of Chorus and further north. Do you know where Tilafen is?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so go over the mountains from Tilafen and along a bit past like the rest of the mountains and Dead Man's Port. That's what other people call it.
Dead Man's Port.
Oh, yeah.
Do we still have our map?
I assume that one of you three was carrying the map,
Excellent.
We hope.
but did
Oh,
you just
also, have you maybe seen a ship? Not in a place where you expect to see a
You're gonna look like
ship.
this is a port.
Yes, but in, like, not the water. That's the fun part.
Like in the land,
Yes. Yeah.
in the ground, in the like.
Anywhere not water. Really. All terrain.
No.
Great.
What's the easiest way to get to Raven's Rest?
Raven's Rest? Isn't that like
Near the Forest of Bones.
you could get a boat to Ironhaven and walk from there, I guess, or get ride from Ironhaven. probably the quickest way.
We've been spoiled, that's for sure.
Did you just... She kind of look... You see her sort of looking around the alley and things around. Again. Did you come off the roof or something?
Or something.
Or something.
Can we ride horses this time? I've never ridden one. I think it'd be fun. Or a cow. I think riding a cow would be fun.
I don't think you ride cows.
Why not?
They tend to try to knock you off.
Well, what's something other than a horse that would be fun to ride? Because I think horses are a little overplayed.
Maybe a giant eagle, but we
I've
need to
done
find
that.
a dare first.
Yes.
We could
okay.
ride a bear.
I've done that as well.
Yeah. You're not one of those, like, weird, like, people who, like, go on, like, spirit journeys and end up here? Because...
We're on a much more important journey than that.
Okay. Because...
We're gonna save the world. Shh. Don't tell anyone, because I don't know if we trust this town.
What does it need saving from?
Oh, a lot of things
stuff.
from our experience.
Right. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Thank you very much for saving my life. I think,
Torwald just holds his hand out.
she holds out her hand and shakes your hand.
I'm holding it like flat like this.
Just like,
Hand over the gold.
Oh. Can't put it down as like a charitable good deed.
No, you said there was an entire bag of gold involved.
Yeah, I don't have it on me.
We're gonna need you to go get that.
Alright, well, I'll just go get it and I'll come back here.
No, I think we'll accompany you.
Right. Sure.
Because we can always call back that lovely, lovely lady.
No. Follow me, Let's go, give you some gold. This way will take us back onto the main road. Just I guess mind where you step. Watch out for. Have you not been here before? No, you said you haven't.
No, we haven't.
Just don't pick any fights.
And why is that?
'Cause I don't want to get involved in a big fight. Look, Verandra is kind of like, you know when I said I wasn't running from the law? I was being completely true. There is no law here.
All right.
So there's kind of... But there's people in charge. They're just not the law, technically. They're just really powerful, very scary people, and they all hate each other. And we are up in the north of the city, so this is like probably the safest bit of the city. This is the Witch King's territory. He's kind of terrifying.
That's who you stole the book from, right?
No, I stole it from the Soul Keeper's people. They're much worse. The Soul Keeper has a big fortress over in the west of the city. He is a necromancer. Like, a really old, scary necromancer. And lots of his people are... I can't remember what the correct term is these days. Living in an unliving people. And necromancers, but they don't usually follow into the north part of the city. So I thought I was safe up here. Turns out I'm not. And then if you go further east in the city, that's the anathema. And the nightmare speakers. Have you heard of nightmare speakers?
No.
Murderous snake people.
They're what?
They're murderous snake people.
Well, Ira, I think you were right about this place. Doesn't sound very nice.
No, I don't think so. Have you seen tall woman with black hair and a very big, terrifying sword?
Quite a few of them.
There's a lot of copies around here. That's terrifying. I believe we've met someone who is not fond of necromancy, so maybe you should seek her out.
Yeah, she'd have a field day here. This is, I guess, the world's leading center of necromancy?
Interesting.
Well, I guess it's an upgrade from hell itself. So there's that.
Does that get you a lot of tours?
Mostly, yes, actually. You know, a lot of people who've kind of had to leave other countries for various dark magic related reasons or crime. Anyway, yeah, follow this way. So, just stick with me. I can take you down to. We're going down to the west to the dockside. It's usually an okay bit of the city. That's where most of the non-locals tend to stick. Like if you stick by the water by the harbour, most of that is like alive people and not snake people or shapeshifters.
Well, I guess that's better.
I'm not sure if we even want to stay here, to be entirely honest.
Well,
It sounds a little concerning.
Torvald's gonna like glance down at the map.
maybe we'll spend the night with the stone giants here.
Oh, yeah, that's... And as Ray sort of leads you out, she goes, you go right up that road, there's a big, like... Lots of the giants tend to stick up to the very north of the city. They've got their own sort of area up to the north. Up that way.
All right, well,
But...
on your way.
Oh, I thought you were going to the giants, like...
Well,
No,
we
we
need
still
to get
want my
money
gold.
first. So. Nice
Right.
try, though.
It's worth trying. And she leads you out this... The city looks a bit of a crumbling mess, to be honest. You can see that it's definitely... People have patched up and built buildings inside the ruins of older buildings. And some of the buildings seem weirdly familiar in design to those of the ruined city you were walking through on the other side. Like, you think you've almost even perhaps seen that same tower in both places. Right, so once we cross this bridge, we'll be over into the west of the city, the Soul Keeper's area. I'm going to need to keep my head down. She sort of pulls her hood up over her head. Just blend in.
All right.
Just don't stare. The streets are, considering it's the middle of the night, actually fairly busy. And you pass by, you see a skeletal horse dragging a wagon behind it. A few like half decomposing looking figures, looking boxes and crates back and forth under the command of a very pale skinned woman who, she glances your direction, smiles with some very sharp white teeth. And you sort of head across the bridge and down the streets into what appears to be a more sort of prosperous trading area of town. But still there's a lot of visibly undead creatures around you. Along with you see, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, quite a few humans, quite a lot of orcs, a few people where you think they look human, and as they turn you see patches of scales on their faces. One man looks almost completely normal, and you see his shadow points the wrong direction, and there's a with a short pair of curled horns nestled in his hair. And very sort of hurries on down this street. Should we just down off Bridge Street? Follow me.
All right.
This is New Valdia. That's the up that way is the House of Creation. And they're like the only like big non-necromancer study place on this side of the city. They're all about like I don't know, metal.
That sounds nice to me.
Yeah, but they kind of collaborate. I think I've seen some interesting look. She points to what looks to be sort of half a skeleton and half almost like this metal armor casing, sort of bound together. Armored skeletons. They're a whole new thing.
That's not terrifying or anything.
And that way Bridge Street leads over to the Bridge of Bones and Temple Island. Any god you want to worship, they've got a temple there.
Really?
Yeah.
They've got a temple to Thunderer.
Oh, I suspect so, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a big temple. Some of them are really small temples. Like, anyone can go and buy a patch of land and set up a temple there. So...
Oh.
Anybody can buy
Don't
some
we-
land and set up a temple.
yeah.
Oh, yes, don't we need to do that?
We do need to do that.
Aye.
For
And I suspect if Aldous is anywhere, she may be there.
Yeah. And if
I
you carry...
suspect if Adair is anywhere, he would be not there. So
But yeah, Thunder is one of those, scary northern gods, right? All, war and ice and...
War in thunder.
Yeah.
And axes. Lots of axes.
I think I have seen a temple to him.
Well, I guess we do have to set up that temple, so...
Well, yeah. And then further down this way goes down onto the wharfs and the docks. But we're just up here. And she leads you down another alley. Hang on, where are my keys? It's not very big, so you might want to wait down here and then I'll go up and get it.
I don't think so. I'm not very large myself.
Alright. She sort of leads you up a rickety staircase into this essentially tiny sort of bedsit. Like a little cooking area on one side, a bed, a bit of a screen and a chest. She starts sort of rummaging around under the mattress. Alright. There you go.
And the rest of it.
I said 1 bag of gold.
You said all of it.
you did say all of it.
Well, there you go. 350 gold pieces.
That's pretty good.
I don't play around.
who did you sell that book to again? You said a merchant?
One of the Carisians. Stravus?
Okay.
Look, I tried to go and buy it back off him, but he said he didn't have it anymore. And he'd sold it to someone else, and he wouldn't tell me who he'd sold it to. And, yeah. Then he got one of his guys to throw me off his boat. They don't play around.
Well, stay safe.
You too. If you're after lodgings, the Drunken Ox mostly caters to out-of-towners. Guaranteed 100% living staff.
Wonderful. Drunken Ox sounds like the name of a type of inn we would be found at.
Well, we'll be off now.
Yeah, you can't stay here. It's too small.
Well, awful rude, but
Just being honest.
she's saying we're fat. That's
Right.
So we'll start to leave. Torvald's gonna keep kind of an eye on her though, while we're leaving.
Sorry, she just doesn't understand the build of an athletic woman, and I'll pat her on the back.
Sort of edges you out, and you hear the clunk of bolts on the other side of the door.
she didn't steal any of our things, did she?
She would have had to been very persuasive to steal mine, so I don't think so.
Yours are probably good.
Bill it as an anti-theft device.
Yeah.
That's true.
I can't
Might
even
have-
steal my own things most of the time, so
Well,
I'd be impressed if she could.
it says here on the map that we should stay on the harbor and avoid meat. And it also says the stone giants are mostly peaceful. So I think we should try to go that way. Maybe not go to the inn the thief recommended.
If she's familiar with it, she probably has friends there, and they probably also steal. So towards the stone giants?
Aye.
If we may,
do-
I'd like to see if we can find that merchant
Hmm.
about the book.
I don't think it's important right now. I'm not keen on sticking around here.
I do want to buy a patch of land and set up a temple, but not to that mirror witch.
Well, we can come back for that. We have to get our boat first.
The one that you lost, yes.
I did nothing of the sort.
I'd say we all had a hand in losing it in our own way, don't you think?
Me less so than others.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well,
Aldous was
let's
the
be
one who got
off then.
sucked
I
into
will
the
start
portal.
walking.
Yeah, well then we'll blame Aldous because she isn't here to defend herself.
I don't like
Sounds
that
good.
option either. I don't like that I was left alone with the biggerers.
Well, to the giants then.
I'd say so. As long as we
Okay.
can come back sometime.
So is your plan to head up across the city looking for where Vray pointed out that giants live in this city?
Yeah, it looks like they're in the mountains. Maybe I don't know if they're in the
Oh.
city.
Oh, as in walk out of the city. Yeah. Yeah, the map does not have a scale. Yeah, hang on. Did I pick this map to scale? Yeah. So you still, I mean, you passed a couple of roads that were leading northwards out of the city, into. Yeah. Hang on, let me just check some distances here. No, I did not put distances on that map. It's not 5 feet away. Yeah, I mean, are you asking around for directions to the stone giants, or just setting off? What's your plan here?
I think just following the map for the most part.
I don't think
Okay.
we should let anyone know where we're going. Not in this town.
All right. So as you so you're heading back up north through the dark streets of the city. And as you these are the roads that there's one road that just seems to be directly going sort of more or less northwards inland, away from the shore. And yeah, another that seems to veer slightly more directly northwards, but it's up to you whether you want which one you want to take.
Is there any signage or anything that we see?
There's the signs for like the signs in the city, like the signs that point out like Temple Island, Docks, Wharf, House of Creation, but signs saying do not steal other people's zombies.
Oddly
There's a sign pointing at advertising, so rooms to rent, labourers' services, no need to feed them, adverts for blood donors wanted, offers of trading deals like buy the latest goods from Chorus and beyond. There is there's lots of people. As you head sort of back into this section of the city that's very called New Valdia, there's quite a lot of people trying to hand you pamphlets and get you to come into their shops and buy things. Someone says, "Come, you've got to say, potions and poisons, everything your heart could desire."
That sounds good. Do we need poison?
Magical books.
No. Let's keep going.
Have you heard about Kukaba? Open your mind. Kukaba, the god Kukaba. Have you heard about Kukaba? Give voice to the voiceless and words to the wordless.
That's where we want to go. Way down to Kokaba.
I do like the sound of that.
Sounds interesting.
What
Come,
else?
we've got a new temple. Come on.
I was joking.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is where you wanted to go, Torvald. All right. I'll start to follow.
Buy horses for sale.
Torvald will grab her arm, like as she's walking towards.
Do you have a pamphlet about your god? I follow Lady Luck, but I'd be willing to branch.
Yeah, we have pamphlets.
Great, thank you.
Here you go.
How scammy does it look?
It's a very brief pamphlet explaining that Kukaba is the voice of the voiceless and seems to be mainly aimed at Kenku. This pamphlet talks a lot about crows and...
Okay. I thought it was more of a metaphorical thing, but thank you.
Well, I mean, I guess we could follow a giant crow.
Caw.
Car. The figure who gave you the pamphlet beckons over this small crow-like person who says, "Hello, I heard you want to know about Kukapa."
Yeah.
I am Rumble of Thunder. Would you like
a
to...
full name?
People call me Rumble.
It's your friend, Torvald.
Would you like to come and see our temple? We have a shard of the very obelisk itself.
No, thank you. I don't think I could
The
join a
obelisk
group.
is the Keln, where our religion began. We're approaching our 10th anniversary.
It's a 10th anniversary, Torvald. We need to go see a 10th anniversary, and they have a shard of something.
You want to go to a gathering of religious crows. Literally a murder cult.
Yes. They have a shard.
Oh, no. We're not a murder cult. The murder cult is 2 doors down.
No, we don't want that one.
I meant a gathering of crows. Call it murder.
What's
we call ourselves a clan, actually.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
And Torvald will start walking away.
Ira, help me out here. What's 5 minutes to go see what they have?
I'm mostly interested in the merchants from Chorus, actually.
All right, we'll head that way. At least it can be practical.
So Torvald
Finest Carissian goods brought from the furthest corners of the world, from the Elven Empire, from Agaria, from the wild realms of the north, and from the exotic islands of fire. Full sails will bring you goods from anywhere you desire.
Now they have my attention.
Shipments or ship goods to anywhere you desire. No place too far, no challenge too great.
Why does Full Sail sound familiar?
Where exactly is the merchant located?
I am a spokesperson for Full sails. We have our ships are down on South Harbour, but if you would like to arrange a visit to our offices in the morning, I can do so. I am personally authorised by the Stratus family to arrange business dealings.
Lovely.
What?
Who might be in town as the overseer of the operations?
Oh, that would be Master Kylius himself.
Great. Where is he located?
Well, he is currently unavailable, but in the morning he will be at his offices down on South Harbour.
Great. Good to know. Are you able to set up an appointment for me with the Stratus family?
Oh, yes. Are you looking to import, export? What are you after, miss?
I'm looking to export.
Okay.
Are there any safe lodgings down there, by any chance? Near the offices.
Oh, yes. Depends on your budget. I will be with you in a moment, sir. Let me just finish arranging some business dealings with the lady here. Morning appointment. Would 2 hours past dawn be acceptable?
As early as possible, please.
I can pencil you in for an hour past dawn if you're feeling particularly sprightly.
That would be excellent.
And what name shall I put that down for?
You can put it down under my friend Torvald's name.
Torvald? Do we have a... No, just Torvald?
Aye, Torvald.
I can speak for the group.
Yes, if you're after lodgings, well, the Dusk Hotel gives the finest lodgings in town for discerning guests. The Harbourside Inn for a more middle market, or if you're after bargain rooms, there's the Drunken Ox.
What are the costs?
Well, I must let you know that I'm not actually a tour guide. I am a business representative of the Full Sails Trading Company and the Stratus family. I am not employed to advertise rooms.
I understand. We're just new to town, so we figured you might have an idea.
Well, the Dusk Hotel will probably about 4 gold each.
All right.
1 gold for the Harbourside Inn, or 1 silver at the Drunken Ox per person, per night.
And which is the closest to the offices?
That would be the Harbourside, I believe.
I think Harbourside would be nice, don't you think, Torvald? Right in the middle of price range, close to the office.
Whatever you like.
Thank you for your information, then. What was your name again?
My name? Davrin.
Catherine. Wonderful.
But you can call me Dave.
Dave. Of course. Okay, thank you.
Do you have any goods with you here?
Oh, not on my person. No, I am just trying to find people who might be interested in setting up business deals and shipping. We do have some samples down at our offices if you'd like to view them.
Well, you've done a fine job. You have a great day.
You too, sir. And he sort of moves on to excuse me, Corinthian trade goods.
We'll start heading towards the harbor.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, sir, ma'am, lady. Do you have a moment to view some miraculous technical wonders?
Miraculous, you say?
Eira?
This is our very own levitating table. Don't you worry about getting your sweeping brush stuck on the...
Let's get going.
Fine. The gnome sort of wanders on, looking a bit miffed that you're not interested in her tables. But yeah.
I don't really think we need a levitating table for anything.
But yeah, you sort of head on down to the Harbourside Inn, which is a rather clean but plain-looking building, with a view overlooking the harbour and there's the dark waters beyond. And there's a rather impressive-looking orc guard standing outside, sort of scowling at passers-by.
Greetings, friend. How are you?
I'm good. You looking for rooms?
Aye.
Alright. Rooms are 5 gold a night. Leave your any weapons in the lockers on the ground floor, you'll get a key.
And what establishment are we at here?
Harbourside.
We were told it's 1 gold a night.
That's correct.
All right.
Alright.
We'll be right back.
Torvald will kind of go around a corner or something like that.
All right. If you want to put your weapons in here, we can do that instead of having them hold on to them. In case anything happens.
He'll kind of hold out the bag of holding.
Grisara will hand over her maul, but not the rod of ruling, because that could just be a staff. That's not a weapon. That's my walking stick.
You're pulling a Gandalf here.
Ira will hand over her things.
Yeah.
Torvald
Yeah, so
will take his
Ram
axe out.
those things in.
He'll like give it a nod, throw it in.
Yeah. You hear the seams stretching a little as you're handing in bowls and axes and swords. And yeah. Gotta be careful with throwing much more stuff in this bag.
Yeah, there's not that much in there right now. Then we'll kind of head back towards the door.
Alright. 1 room, 3 rooms, 2 rooms. What do you want?
We could be cheap and just get 1 big room.
I'd say 1 room would be fine.
3 bed?
We should just get
Aye.
1 giant bed.
I think 3 beds would be fine.
Alright. That'd be 3 gold then.
Torvald will take 3 gold out and give it to him.
These are your lockers. Any weapons to deposit? He sort of glances over you for a second, like, do you have... No?
Aye.
He'll pull out. Torvald will pull out like a hand axe and put it in the locker.
Alright, here's your key, sir. You've got rooms 17, 18 and 19.
I thought
I know,
it was
only 1 room. I'm sorry, my memory's not too good.
Clearly.
I really should write some
5
notes down as I'm
gold,
going.
3 rooms.
Oh, I know. I got hit over the head in a throwing some people out the other week. It's left me a bit. Yeah. Sorry. That'll be room 21 then.
Well, if you run into any trouble, we'll be happy to help you.
Alright. Well, hopefully we won't get much more trouble these days. But
Aye, we'd rather not have trouble, but we'll give you a hand if we need to. We're pretty handy in a fight.
alright. Well, have a good rest of the night. Breakfast's included and served all morning.
All right, sounds good.
Torvald will head in.
And yeah, your room is got 3 beds, a couple of chests for storing items, a table, 1 slightly wobbly chair, and a window with a view out, so you can see sort of the harbour, a few ships on the docks. You can see off to the right. You can see a lighthouse glimmering off on a headland, and sort of directly across the water you can see an island that seems to be a mismatch of strange towers and turrets and ziggurats and domes and any kind of temple you could possibly imagine. But yeah.
Well, how are you doing, Eira? That's your family, right?
Yes, something like that. Just wanted to meet up with them.
All right. You seemed very serious.
It's just a serious matter to see family again after a long time.
Are you happy about it? Or nervous? Or
I'd say I'm happy about it. I was never very close to Kilius, so it'll be interesting meeting him. I don't think he knows I'm alive, so I guess that's a little nerve-wracking.
Aye. Are you sure this is the best idea?
Most definitely.
All right.
It's an important company. I think they'd be happy to know that they've got someone who's been traveling on the ground, potentially has some wares. I just put export because I wasn't really sure what else to say, but just interested to see him.
Why didn't you say it was you?
Oh, well, I don't really want him to be shocked until he actually sees me in person and I can explain. I didn't want him to see the name and be surprised. Like I said, I don't even think he thinks I'm alive.
Well, if you think it's the right decision, I'm there for you.
I appreciate it. I'll probably want to go in alone, admittedly, but if you want to tag along outside, that would be lovely.
I will stay close. Well, we should probably get some rest. It'll be an interesting day tomorrow, that's for sure.
The door, Torvald is going to take a look at the door just to see how secure it is.
Maybe we'll make me an investigation check here. Investigate the doors.
Okay. More specifically, like the craftsmanship and the. Like,
yeah. It's not made of stone though.
It's not, but I did roll an 18 on the dice. So.
Yeah, it's a decent door, but you reckon anyone who's a competent lockpicker or locksmith could get through there pretty fast without even having to, drill the lock off.
It's one of those European.
It's one of those European doors. Yes.
Yeah.
So Torvald's gonna take out his smith's tools and try to reinforce it, maybe a metal bar or something like that to just bar the door.
Yeah, you can definitely make sure it's properly wedged and no one's gonna lift the latch and lock the door in the night.
Just like a metal bar across the thing, just like.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of metal bars, you probably have to. You've got various long and heavy weapons and staffs.
Yeah.
So could block it with one of those. Because I don't think you have just metal bars.
Just ingots. Just carrying around.
Just carrying around a large metal locking bar and a portable forge and.
No, I do have some half plate armor though, so I could use that, I guess.
Yeah, you can manage to wedge it with something, yeah.
Okay.
See. Yeah. Other than that, there is a window as well.
I'll check the window as well.
Again, seems pretty much a very similar sort of, perhaps less secure. It's quite a sheer drop down the other side to water.
Right.
But people can levitate.
And how large is the room? How many feet?
Probably about 15 foot by 10 foot.
15 by 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe 15 by 15. I'm bad at sizing rooms.
Okay. It's small. That's really small. 15 by 15 is like a small bedroom. Very small bedroom.
Well, 20 by 20 then.
Like, not enough room for 3 beds.
It's cozy.
Very cozy.
20 foot by 20 foot, we'll say.
Okay. Right, if it's 20 feet by 20 feet, Torvald's gonna he's gonna start just kind of like muttering to himself, and you just see this like lightning spark around him, and this like projection kind of comes out from him, and he just kind of steps forward and leaves behind this visage of this like dwarf with an axe and a shield, and I'll do a spirit guardian or whatever it's called.
Guardian of Faith.
Guardian of Faith. Damn.
Yeah. Watch over you whilst you sleep.
It's just in the corner of the room, just like chilling there. It's only 3 of us. I don't think we can do an effective watch cycle. So,
All right. If you can keep an eye out, I'd be much appreciated.
and
It nods back at you silently.
Torvald will crawl into bed.
Yeah. Unless any of you had any other plans that evening, should we skip forward to the morning? Alright. So, this like this woken is a very like faint, hazy light glimmers in through the window. The sky is still grey and clouded over. There's a few more snowflakes falling down. It's not a particularly bright day, so that weak winter sunshine filters through the window and illuminates the room. But yeah, you've had a long rest, and I think the Guardian lasts, 8 hours? So you see him just sort of fading away in the morning light.
Torvald will give another nod at him as he wakes up.
Well, how did you sleep?
Well, I'd say. Yourself?
Ye the same. Chrysara?
I did. I slept well.
All right. Well, breakfast?
Definitely. Especially if it's free.
Sure.
Torvald will take his tools out and kind of get the door open a little bit.
Yeah, you're clanking and scraping, but you managed to get the door open. See a kind of confused looking like member of staff just kind of peering down the corridor. Like, you right? Yeah.
Torvald's gonna be like waving with one hand, and then he puts his other hand on the door, and you just see this like sparking as this lightning just like arches and kind of stitches any holes or anything together as it casts mending. He's just like,
Thank you, sir. But yeah, breakfast seems to be being served downstairs in sort of the general bar room. There's a few people at the other tables sort of busy in like hushed discussion with each other. You see a trio of dwarves having a very quiet argument about something. Another and a pair of elves sort of sipping some kind of hot tea, and one of the sort of serpentine people sat on their own at a table. I mean, there's plenty of tables to choose from. It doesn't seem particularly crowded in here today.
Just kind of pick one.
Yeah, and the maid comes over and goes, "Good morning. Our breakfast menu today, we have fried fish, we have jellied eels, we have breakfast stew, and bone broth. All served with bread.
What exactly?
Or potatoes.
Is the breakfast stew?
Meat?
How about potatoes? Some nice home fries.
Yeah, we can do potatoes. What would you like with your potatoes, sir?
More potatoes.
No fried meat?
No, thank you. I'm a vegetarian.
It's guaranteed 100% actual meat.
I don't believe in killing animals.
Oh, don't worry.
No, potatoes. Potatoes and bread.
Aye.
Right, 3 servings of potato and bread coming up.
Aye, lots of carbs.
Thank you.
Got a long day. I need to marathon running.
Yep.
Herbaload. That's what they call it these days.
Scutters back into the kitchen.
I was expecting more non-meat options.
Well, I think there's a reason why it says don't eat the meat on the map.
Aye, there's very little information on there, so I'd imagine the things that are pretty important.
Here you are. There you are. And some extra potatoes, courtesy of the chef.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. There's no meat in here, right? It's against my religion.
No meat. Or fish.
All right.
Those are the same thing, typically.
Well, it depends. If you talk to a pescatarian, they'd disagree with you.
Just because... Okay, sure. She'll start eating the potatoes.
I'm a very woke Viking.
Right, so, well, your tasty potatoes. I hope they weren't boiled in meat. I'll start eating them. If I start sprouting any strange appendages, let me know.
Did you notice when I said it was animals? She was about to say, don't worry, it's not animals. I'm guessing that's why you were not supposed to eat the meat.
Anyway, potatoes are great. Love them.
Aye. The food of my people.
That's right. A good meal of potatoes on bread. With extra potatoes on the side.
Very filling.
Yum.
Definitely. Yeah, these pots are cleared away. It's you've been Davrin gave you directions around sort of like 3 doors round to the offices of the local offices of the Full Sails Trading.
3 doors down, you say? I love them.
You've never been there before.
No, the band.
What's a band?
They play the bards. They play the music.
Can't say I've ever heard of them.
Well, you will soon. That's a promise.
Ooh, all right.
Are you ready to go, Eira?
Yes, I say so.
All right. You want us to wait outside, or do you want us to go in with you?
I think waiting outside would be best. And if I could
Alright.
get my things back as well.
Ah, yes.
Please.
Torvald will draw the sword.
Even just holding Ira, so it feels very cold in your hand. It's sort of a numbing chill as you touch it.
It's a fine blade, but it's very cold. Doesn't it bother you?
We could have that conversation at another time, but it does kind of impact my psyche a little bit, I'd say. Thank you.
Right. Be careful.
I think it's worth it in the end. But
I'll trust you.
it is quite cold, yes.
And Torvald will kind of like take the hilt of the maul out.
It's quite warm.
Ah, that's better. I should just keep this in here in case my hands get cold and I can...
He is not a hand warmer, thank you.
Well, if it quacks like a duck.
He doesn't quack.
That's not what I meant. It's a turn of phrase. Have you never heard that before?
I've not heard if it quacks like a duck.
Well, here's your quacking maul. Shut the duck up.
Well, somebody's not the sharpest tack in the box. I've heard that one.
All right.
Poor Malpack. You don't quack.
Can I burn him? Can I burn him? Can I burn him?
No, we're not gonna. Torvald, are your hands still cold?
No, thank you.
Are you sure? Fire would like to warm you up.
Well, we'd have to buy me dinner first.
It's okay, he won't hurt you. We're not going to burn him.
Oh, sorry.
Drop a cat!
She dropped herself, to be fair.
The whole moral of this episode was no animal cruelty. And then
I did not think it was in the way I picked her up, and then she jumped at a poor angle. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine?
Carry on. Carry on. Nothing to see here.
Sure. Yes. Sorry.
Nope, if the two of you are going to go and deal with her family, I will take a few minutes to go build one of those shrines and then come back.
A few minutes? To build a shrine?
I don't think you should go anywhere alone. And if someone built me a shrine in a few minutes, I'd be pretty insulted, honestly.
Okay, well, perhaps I'm not a stonemason. I don't need a big one. I just need a little one. Just
Hill dwarf here. I'm quite cunning with stone, I have to say.
All right, fine. I'll wait. Make it snappy. Not you, Ira, of course.
Torvald will walk up to the door and open it for Eira, and
Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be right here if you need us. Just give a holler.
Of course. Shouldn't be long.
All right.
Alright,
Torvald
so
will shut the door, and he's gonna pull out his axe and have it kind of in his hand. He's gonna be standing next to the door.
gonna lurk on the street looking menacing.
Yes.
Do we
Alright.
think we're going to attack her?
I have no idea. I have my suspicions they might be up to something that's not good. So, I'd like to be ready, that's all. I don't want anything to happen to Eira. I know you don't either.
Of course not.
So, get your fire ready, and if we got to burn something, we will.
Now, he is quite bright whenever I give the command word.
Well,
Perhaps wait.
I
We'd be
probably
kind-
shouldn't stand here with a flaming mace.
80 feet of firelight.
You're imposing enough as it is, Sora. Just watch the people go by and see if anyone's wearing green.
Okay.
Okay, so as the two of you sort of take up watching positions outside the door as Ira sort of steps into the offices, I'm going to ask for just a perception check from both of you. Just see what you see as stuff's going around.
19.
19. Okay. And Krasara? Are you talking to me?
It's muted because I'm stupid. I've tried to make it. I don't know. Okay, there we go. It was a 14. So I have nothing to add.
Okay. All right. Well, get back to you two in a moment. But Ira, as you step inside the offices, you can hear the muffled debate about fiery malls going on outside the door. But the office itself is quite quiet, well appointed. You see there's some glass cases with some samples and of example goods that we can source for you from all parts of the world. A big polished desk with the assistant Davrin still awake apparently. Sat behind it, noting things down in a book. Yes. Ah! Miss Torvald's friend. Sorry, I didn't get your name yesterday.
Yes.
Is Torvald not with you?
Oh, he's just staying outside. It's
Okay.
just what I want to talk about's a little personal. I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm exporting something interesting, so I appreciate it to just be Kailis and I.
Oh yes, yeah. We specialize in personal and private.
It seems you understand. Yes. Something a little bit.
Yes. Sorry to ask this. Would you mind just popping your sword and shield down there, please, ma'am?
Of course.
And then I'll just show you through. And he sets them down behind the desk, and then he knocks on a nice wooden door. Goes, your first morning appointment, sir? And opens the door and sort of motions you in. And Callius is not a cousin you know particularly well. Like, he didn't get invited to a lot of family gatherings. He was often out on the boats, or you were out on the boats with your mother. But you see him sat at his desk just flicking through papers. And he looks up. And just all the blood drains from his face. Eira!
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Very good. Yes. Good morning. I didn't know you were in Verandra. I didn't. It's great. I mean, it's wonderful to see that you here, alive.
Is it?
Yes. I really feared that when Auntie's boat went down, that is she here as well?
I'd like to cast Stone of Truth, please.
Oh yeah. And
So, charisma save.
charisma save on his behalf, that is a 6.
Excellent.
So yeah, he has failed. You can tell he's failed. Like,
No, Mother isn't here. As you may have heard, she, from what I understand, may have passed.
that's I'm sure you're very sad.
Of course. In fact, recently I found out most of my family may have passed, so I have been grieving.
I'm alive! Yay!
That's wonderful. Can I try to grapple him, please?
Yes, you may.
Excellent. What would you like me to do for
So
that?
that'll be an athletics check from you as he kind of tries to.
Oh, 10.
He sort of wriggles out of your grasp, and you see him like he shouts out, "Davrin! Davrin!"
Do I hear this?
Yes, you do. You hear, "Get help! Now!" Look, Ira, I didn't mean things to get quite so out of hand. Look,
Did you not? Because from my understanding, it was your intention.
you see him sort of edging, trying rather because you're between him and the door. There's sort of a flit of panic in his eyes. Torvald and Krasara, you hear the sound of feet. The door opens from the officers, and the clerk from before steps out.
I'd get right back in there if I were you.
Make me an intimidation, please, Torvald,
Can I help him since I look
with advantage. Just
Are there any other exits than the one that I'm standing in front of?
not that you can see. No.
Excellent.
Seven.
Can I quickly go grab my weapon?
Yeah. So you sort of head back, sort of a few steps back into the outer office, where you can see your sword and shield still lent up behind the desk, as you see Davrin backing in through the door slowly, like, okay, yep, just going back inside.
Torvald will follow.
And
is Krasara following Torvald?
Oh yeah.
And then we'll shut the door.
Great.
I'll grab my shield and sword and I'll go into the office and I'll shut the door as well.
And okay, so as you head with the office, you can see Kylie scrambling around in one of his desk drawers, holding his hand, going, "My officers, please send help! The menaces, they're here!" You see him holding this engraved stone in his hand. Look, Ira, I'm sorry. I didn't actually want to do it that way originally.
Please tell me everything that you intended to happen, Kylis.
Could you please put the sword down?
No. All I've asked for is an explanation. You've asked for backup. I think it's appropriate for me to still be armed.
Look, if I'm dead when they get here, they'll be very unhappy. They're friends of mine, and
They're friends of yours.
yes.
And therefore, they likely care about the Stratus company, do they not?
Oh yeah, yes.
Wonderful. Well, if you're dead, then I would be the rightful owner, so I don't think they'd be too nonplussed.
Right. Yes.
Can I hear this through the door?
Yeah. It's kind of muffled, but yeah, you can hear quite. You can catch some. You hear some of it better than other bits, but you can. Look. I needed the company.
Did you?
Yes. I'd promised some rather dangerous people that I had a shipping company, and therefore they assumed I had a shipping company. I needed a shipping company, so I went to your parents and asked if they would help me out with shipping some things, and they said no. I then asked if they'd let me buy some of their boats on like credit or something, and they said no. And so then I went to another friend and asked if they could help me take control of the Full Sail shipping company. And they said, sure, they'd handle it. And then I didn't know when they said they'd handle it that it meant they'd sink Auntie's boat, okay? And with you on it, too. I kind of thought they'd just, I don't know, I don't know. Anyway.
How are your uncle and brothers or cousins?
Your father, he's alive. I didn't kill him.
Wonderful. Where is he?
In chorus. He kind of took a bit of a step back after he heard about you and your mother and your brothers.
And what of my brothers?
They're not dead. They're not dead. They got suspicious, and I told them that I'd sent you and your mother here to Verandra, and I hope that they'd give it up because no one wants to come here.
Wonderful.
Only
Do you know where they've been?
They did come here, and kind of following up the false lead I gave them, and have you heard of Vorskill? I don't know if you've been in the city long.
Don't believe so. I think I may have heard of them earlier, but
anyway, yeah, he has your brothers. That's about it. Yes.
All right. Well, I have a request of you.
Yes.
I won't kill you today.
Oh, thank you.
But I would appreciate it if you return Full Sails to its rightful owner, my father, and let them clean up the act that you've sullied.
I can't really do that because I'm dead if I do that.
All right, well, would you rather be killed by family or by creepy people?
I don't suppose neither is an option.
No. Why are you dead to them? Do you owe them things?
I owe them a lot of money still for...
How much?
10,000 gold pieces.
How much platinum is that?
That is 1,000 platinum.
How much money do we have? How many platinum do we still have?
210.
I give
Good
you
luck
100.
getting it from Torvald.
If I give you 100 platinum to start, can you go from there?
That might help get the more immediate problems off my trail.
I give you 100 platinum. You go back to course. You hand the company back over to my father. And then you tell him that I am alive and I have requested that he help you pay off your debts.
You'll help?
Yes, I'm being very generous. Thank you for recognizing that.
Yes. Is this a trick?
No. I don't want to kill you because then I'll be no better than you are. But I don't want you to be sullying the family name or be taking away from what my family's worked toward. So if you're going to be dead, then tell my father to try to help you, and he ultimately can refuse if he'd like, but I can give you the 100 platinum to start. And if you die, then you die at that point. Not my problem.
Thank you. I am truly sorry. It did get rather out of hand.
I recognize that.
The next...
And who was the one responsible for the sinking of the ship again? I believe I know, but to hear it from you.
It's the Nexus. I can't remember the name of the particular agent. I I can't remember the name of this particular agent. I wrote it down somewhere. He says the name that you recall from the previous conversation. You're like, aha!
Yes.
That's the same name!
I think it started with an L.
Yes!
Something like that.
I wrote it down somewhere really sensible. But yeah, he says that's the same name of, I believe, someone in Lettisborg that was involved with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Yes. He's the one I paid for the actual job, but they're all Nexus.
And you assure me that you didn't realize that family was going to be killed to get you what you need.
I assure you, I didn't think anyone was going to be killed.
Understood. If he dies, will you be in trouble?
Probably.
Okay, well, he's going to die, so...
I'll try and make myself scarce before then.
I think Chorus is your best bet.
You look well, by the way.
Thank you.
Nice armor.
I appreciate it.
I'll get
Going.
Get going. Yes.
Let me get your money in order. Stay here.
All right. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, shit. There's probably some people turning up any moment now.
I understand. I'll walk out and I'll see Torvald.
Ira, I overheard you talking and taking charge, and I just gotta say, very impressed.
Thank you. Is the amount that I've impressed you worth 100 platinum?
What? Oh, 100 gold, you said?
100 platinum, please.
I mean, for what?
A lot of people will die otherwise, I'd assume.
I mean, if I have to give up 100 platinum, people might die anyway. One of them might be me, from my heart.
I understand.
So, what are we getting out of this 100 platinum?
A better life for my family.
All right, I mean, is there any other way?
I mean, I could kill someone.
All right, we'll help you with that.
Kill multiple someones.
Again, happy to help.
You prefer to hold on to our wealth rather than avoid killing someone. Someone who may or may not be my cousin.
Well, you know, there are cousins and there are killing cousins, you know.
I suppose. Torvald, my mother died.
I understand.
And it was my cousin's fault.
And that's who we're gonna kill, right?
Well, if I kill him, I'm no better than him.
Eye for an eye, and
I would prefer to just pay him and send him back to Chorus so that way my father knows that he rightfully owns his company again.
Pay him for killing your mother.
Pay him so he can get rid of the debts that have now been placed on the company name. What do you hope to spend this 100 platinum on yourself?
Well, not myself. I mean, it's not mine. It's ours. So it's not up to me, really. It's up to all of us. And there's only 3 of us here right now.
I know Adair would stand with me. We've talked about this.
Well, what do you think, Grisar?
comes time to get my daughter back, just help me.
Of course.
And I'll hand over my pouch and I'll dump out the 100 platinum and hand it to Ira.
Thank you. It truly means a lot, Chrysara.
It's your family. Family's important.
I would do the same for your family.
Thank you.
I'll hand it to him.
And he sort of takes it. You see, like, he looks both terrified and very confused. He sort of takes some money, sort of tucks it into his pocket as you hear a commotion on the street outside.
I could have killed you.
Yes, no, I am very grateful you didn't. I can tell you could have done. It's a very shiny sword. I probably could talk this out with whoever's about to come through that door.
Go ahead.
You do that. I'm gonna take a look at your wares.
Sure, these are just samples. Most of the trade stuff's on the boat, but
And where's that?
down on the harbour. The door gets flung open, and there's sort of 6 very burly-looking ruffians in brandishing weapons in leather armour sort of burst in and sort of look around. Mr. Stratus, sir! False alarm. False alarm. Great response time, guys. Great response time. Here, you can have a tip. Share that. He hands them one of the platinum pieces.
Hey, stop that!
He'll bat it down back at him.
I recommend you use that wisely.
Yes. Gold. Sorry, that's what I meant to you. I'm not used to having quite so much platinum in a purse. False alarm. Great response time. Good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go down to the boat. Just square some things away.
Excellent.
I think I said it before, but Ira, I'm sorry, and thank you.
Your actions are going to be more meaningful than any words you can say right now.
Right.
I hear it all that you haven't followed instructions. I won't be kind next time.
Yeah, understood. Right. Going now.
And we're following you.
And he sort of steps out of the office.
Torvald will follow.
Alright, so Torvald is following Kylius down to the dock.
Torvald, that's not entirely necessary. We can move on.
I want to get an item.
What kind?
I'm not sure. They got plenty of stuff on the boat there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, most of what, based on like the lists and sort of different offices, most of what they sell is like normal trade goods. Like some of what they sell is magic items, but it's not like they're a magic item shop. It's like, all sorts of goods that people would buy and sell. But some of it magical, but most of it not.
Yeah, Torvald's still gonna follow.
Alright, so Torvald's...
It's the principle of the thing.
So that's the trail Kylius and his sort of emergency response team back to the dock. The Clark Davrin is busy, like, sort of sitting the desk back upright. Sort of looking around and going, right, sorry, did anything else for your meeting, Mom? Right, okay, I'll just be over for the other end. He sort of sidles on out the way. And, yeah. Ira and Chrysara, are you following them down to the docks as well, or are you staying back up at the offices?
I say we should stick together.
Kasara will hang around with Ira and just sort of keep an eye on her and make sure she's okay after that little exchange.
Yeah. So...
Do you think we should get a lift up to the Iron whatever that was, Iron Haven?
I'm sure we could find one.
Well, don't we have a perfectly good boat here?
Well, it's kind of the opposite direction of Chorus. I'd like him to get going, to be honest. And I don't really trust him, so... the last time I was on a boat that he had anything to do with, my mother died, so would prefer not to be on a boat with him.
All right. That makes sense, I guess.
But, yeah, you're led down to the docks, and you can see sort of the familiar lines of one of the Full Sails vessels tied down at the dock. It's sort of one of the ones that's specialises at rough water and trades the routes as far up into the west or up to Isfjell. But sort of Caius hurries up forwards, and you see him sort of discussing with like the crew, like, we make all preparations, we'll gather the crew, like we're leaving today, preferably. See if you can round them all up. I know some of them are down at Drunken Ox. I think some of them went down over to the east of the city. If you can't find them, we're leaving today, with or without them. They'll have to make their own way home. There's always, sadly, attrition of crew here. This is my cousin, Eira. She's alive.
Yes, hello.
She's Eira. This is my captain. He sort of nods around and makes nervous introductions. As he and my quartermaster. This is Torvald here. He wanted to look at the cargo hold.
Aye, anything useful?
Well, we've got bales of furs from up north. We've got some lovely polar furs. All sorts of few things we picked up in this city. Rare ingredients. Sort of for potions and the like. A few more sort of exotic weaponry choices that they've rustled out of some of their old ruins, or some of the strange stuff that comes out of Valdia. But sorry, you buying or what? Just give him what he wants.
Aye, listen to the man.
Right, well, yeah, what do you want? Are you after a weapon or what?
Well, I've got quite a fine weapon. How about you two? Anything you need?
Do they have anything from the Fire Isles?
Not on this trip. We've been the other way. This is mostly stuff from here and from further north and west of here. So,
what's your best few things you have?
Oh, depends. Well, we've got some Warforged cores. Always fetch a pretty price on the open market. That's what makes them tick.
Well, what do you do with those? Is that something you could use, Eira? With your little tinkering?
I have no interest in anything they're selling. I don't trust where they got it from.
All right. Anything useful in combat, I guess?
Well, oh! His sort of eyes light up for a sec. Fanciest New Veldian tech. We call it the Wand of Projectile Projecting.
Projectile projecting.
You point it at them, you pull this little lever here, and it projects small balls of metal at people very fast.
All right. Well, that sounds dangerous.
It's like a more basically it's more compact than a hand crossbow. Bit louder, but we're thinking they might catch on.
Do you have a lot of the metal balls,
Oh yeah.
or maybe a mold so I can make more?
Oh,
I am a
well,
blacksmith after all.
yeah. I can give you a mold for them. They're basically just ball bearings
All right.
I've been using. Would you
Anything
like one?
else, or?
Oh, you said you wanted weapons. Someone sold me a box of elvish daggers.
An entire box of them.
Yeah. I think it was military equipment that fell off the, back of a wagon somewhere.
All right. Not much for daggers.
That's about. I mean, mostly it's furs in the hold at the moment. If I'm going to be honest.
Any dragon parts, by any chance?
No, the only place you can buy dragon parts these days is Isfjell. They're the only people mad enough to go hunting dragons.
Aye.
I'd watch who you're calling mad.
I mean, as bold and brave.
That's better.
That's better. Indeed. Well, I guess we'll take this... What do you call this thing again? Projectile...
The wonder of
projector.
projectile projecting.
We're gonna have to come up with a better name for that.
Yes, they didn't come labelled with a name. There.
All right. I don't think I can use it, but...
Well. There you
I
go,
guess
help
it'll have
yourself.
to do.
Yeah, they've been surprisingly hard to sell. So. Yeah. Well, are you sailing with us to Chorus? With your cousin, Mom? Sorry.
Don't believe I am.
I think I've heard you mentioned before, right? You're the special one.
Yes.
Lucky charm.
Yes. That's more true now than ever, I suppose.
Eh. Well.
I don't know, Kailis. Do you need me to go with you?
No, but if you want to, I can't stop you.
What condition is my father in?
He was fine when I left. Just it was hard on him, but look, if he knows you're alive, then maybe that'll help. And look, when I've paid off a few immediate debts, I'll try and pay off Thorskill and get your brothers back. But
And Voska is in this town, correct?
yes. Just
How would you go about getting him back?
I'd probably pay him, bribe him, ask really nicely.
Why exactly does he have them in holding?
He collects people.
In what way?
Lord Vorskill is one of the unliving types.
Okay.
He, the
Oh.
Spider?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're alive still. Look, he's a very scary man. Unman, dead man. I don't know how much it would cost to get them back, or if he'd even sell them. back. But look, I could perhaps, once I've sorted out some immediate debts, try and, pay someone to break in and get him out. But
I should be able to get them out, I think.
look, just like,
Don't worry about it.
be careful. They're very dangerous and also really hard to kill, from what I've heard. Like, have a tendency to,
Understood.
if you don't do it properly, they're back again.
Yes. Well, I will work on getting them back, and I think you can expect me to be in chorus to check on you in the future.
Yes. I'll send word to. I was going to say I'll send word to you, but I don't know. I don't suppose you're staying here.
I might be. It'll depend on how long it takes to get my brothers out.
Right. Well, I'll send word. I probably best go help the captain get the crew back before. I really would rather not leave any crew members here. This,
Of course.
is not a safe place. All right. Well, I will try and somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. He sort of gives a nod and kind of awkwardly shuffles away, leaving you sort of at the dock. And I think this might be a good moment to take our break. Okay, so as Kylius and his crew are busy sort of running around sorting things out, there's three of you sort of standing on the docks of Valdir, Dead Man's Port. It's a dull, cloudy morning still, and sort of this ominous grey cloud that seems to just be permanent above the city. What would you like to do? What's your plan?
Well, should we try to find a boat to get up to Iron Haven, or should we try to go a different way?
I'm actually rather interested in at least asking about my brothers. I know we're on a time crunch.
Well, just trying to save the world. That's all. That can wait.
Is that sarcastic, or are you being nice?
Both.
I didn't know you could do both of those at the same time. Okay.
Well, now you do.
Well, I just quickly at least want to ask about them. I mean, my brothers could be dead, and this is the best place to find out. I mean, Torvald, don't you have family? Where are they?
In Isfjell.
Wouldn't you want to know if your siblings were dead or not?
Aye.
You don't talk about your family very often, or your past, so...
Well, it's not exactly the nicest past. You remember when we were attacked in Trellbro by the raiders, and I went a little bit over top and may have murdered them all.
I recall.
Well, that's because they attacked my forge and, well, killed my father and severely injured my brother. He doesn't like to come out because, well, he can't walk anymore and he's a very proud dwarf. So, well, it's tough, and
Yes.
the reason I started doing all this is because I wanted to be able to defend them and defend the people I love. And well, now that I can, I do it whenever I have the chance. And if finding your brothers and finding out what happened to them is important to you, well, I'm here for you.
It means everything to me. My family was all I knew for a long time. And then when I thought I had lost everyone and they all thought they had lost me, my life changed completely. And now I know the world is at stake, and I'm very interested in our quest. I've cared so much about you all and these crystals, but even if we do save the world, it isn't. Maybe this is selfish, but I wouldn't want to save the world, and then what's happening in that saved world is still corrupt. When my family used to be one of the best trading companies in all nations, truly, it means a lot to me. And with my mother gone, and it sounds like my dad deeply grieving, I don't know. I don't know what's best, because if the world ends, then so does my family. But if the world doesn't end, then I want to make sure that my family is in good standing again. I don't really know what to do. But I know I can ask about my brothers, and that's, I think, one step at a time is kind of where my head's at right now. If that's okay.
Let's start there.
Is that okay, Corsara? I know we've got the boat and everything, but
I think she is.
Oh, there she is. Hello.
Okay.
You froze. It was like, is that okay, Corsara? Great. Good talk.
Yes, that's fine. We have to save the world, but our families are on worlds, so we need to be able to save them too.
I agree. I agree. And we've fought for your family before as well, so
Yeah, I would be a complete asshole if I didn't help you save yours.
excellent. Well, I know you're not an asshole, so at least to us. I can't speak on what other people think of you, unfortunately.
You win some, you lose some.
Very fair. Well,
don't vampires not like fire?
I don't really know much about vampires, actually. I know that they're hard to kill, but we've got a weapon of the Fae, basically, so... and also a fire spirit, so I think I don't know, once again, let's try to avoid killing, if possible, and just solve things. My whole goal is to kind of restore peace to the family name, and if I'm doing that through killing, I feel like I'm just as bad as what put it in disarray.
Well, if it comes to it, Torvald and I can take him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, let's go, and I'll try to make it quick, and hopefully we can get my brothers out, and then I can stay with you all. But we'll play it by ear, I suppose.
All right. Well, let's get asking.
And
So
we
yeah.
will, head where we think he is from what we've learned.
Well, I sort of asking around, sort of even just the name, sort of Vorskill is sort of like, oh, we don't want to cross Vorskill, Lord Vorskill, Vorskill Manor up that way, but I'd stay away. Yeah, dangerous sorts. Anyway, out of towners like you should really just stick to the harbour front. Go further inland, and it gets unpleasant fast. Say that about this whole area of the West, what with the Ghost Queen's lands and giants, which are generally unfriendly. Stick to the coast. But if you're looking for Vorskill, there's matters up that way.
All right. Thanks for the information. Is everyone ready?
I think so.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll head off.
You head off. Manor might be a slight misnomer. As you get closer, you can see it's got this thick stone wall built around the outside. It was supposed to be a gatehouse in it, and beyond in the interior, you can see what a sort of almost like a squat keep cobbled together out of previous ruins that make up this city. But you can see on the gatehouse there's a rather ornate brass plaque that just says Vorskill in very looping writing, and next to it is a little pull cord with a "Please ring."
I ring it. Yeah.
Ding ding ding. There's a pause and then
That sounded very pleasing.
a hatch pulls open. You see a kind of pair of watery, pale blue eyes peering out at you. Yes.
Hello. We're here to see Vorskill.
It's come back this evening.
Are we not able to now? It's urgent.
Master is resting.
Oh, well, we just quickly need to investigate the area. That's okay. No need for his presence, actually. If we could just come inside.
Why do you want to come inside? Are you selling things? Because we're not interested.
No. This is just a lovely area, and I've heard great things about Vorskill, and
Are you a fan?
yes, I'd say so. I've heard that you can join the fan club with
Oh, make me a deception check here.
fighting. Sure. 11.
You don't look like the normal fan. You're not wearing black.
Oh, I left my black armor at home.
They
It's not
always
as,
wear black.
It's not as durable as this. Yes, but this is the only durable one I could find. Anyway, could we just come in, please?
We take visitors after sundown.
Grisara, Torvald, what do you think?
Oh, I think I want to explore and check it out, if we're going to join this fan club. I had
I
my
agree.
heart set on this.
Yes, unfortunately, we're just not very, we're not wearing black because we're not really members yet. We just have heard about it. And I believe 2 other members are inside, and I'd like to meet them.
Wouldn't your master be upset if you turned away potential fans?
Well, are you in a hurry? You'll have all eternity. Why do you need to do it this morning?
I will come back. Thank
We
you
have
for your
final
time.
arrangements to make.
Well, make them and come back this evening.
You realize he's a vampire, right? You
You want
can't
me
be
to-
going around during the day.
That's – that's kind of why we want in now, right? While he's still.
Yes, but this is the only durable one I could find.
What? 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 doing his creepy vampire thing.
Would you want strangers walking around your house while you were sleeping?
I mean, I don't think he's nice, so do we care?
Well, they're not gonna let us in. We're just wasting our time.
So I guess we just fuck off until nighttime?
That is
We could-
definitely an option.
We could investigate the temples, if that's still something you're interested in.
Yes, very
Aye,
much.
we can go check out the temples.
Well, all right then. Let's.
All right.
We'll come back tonight.
Okay, so you're heading over to Temple Island to kill some time with some sightseeing. It's a new city. It's probably won't want to come back, so might as well get your sightseeing done. Yeah, the road over to the Temple Island leads you across it's signposted as the Bridge of Bones, and as you get nearer, you can see that it is a very literal name. Someone has taken the bones of some large sea creature, potentially these ribs forming the part of the bridge and the spine running along each side, and built a bridge out of bones, a very large one.
That's interesting. We could use one of these back home.
Like over this bridge of bones, and on the other side there are a crowd of temples, some of them big and grand and large structures, some of them sort of smaller, more modest plain buildings, and some of them appear to be sort of pretty much booths shoved in between the temples, little shelters with people extolling many different gods. Like as you go past, you hear some names of gods you vaguely recognise, especially Eira, who's probably encountered more different gods, but others are stranger names, and some you're not sure are gods. It's like the Circle of Orcus accepts all. Come, embrace, widen your mind, and understand that death is just the beginning, and chaos is just the start. Join the Circle of Orcus.
Why would we want to join the Circle of Whales?
Well,
Would it concern either of you that this feels like home to me?
maybe not that one.
And by home you mean Sorlinsby, right?
No. Sorlinsby was kind of an interesting group of people, but there were far more interesting in chorus, I assure you.
Well, sounds like an interesting place. I'd like to visit it sometime.
You should.
Sir, have you heard the word of the favoured ones?
I don't think so.
No? It draws back.
Good accent, Torvald.
Thank you. I practice. I tried my hand at Draconic once, but it didn't work out. That's why I stuck with Giant. Much easier and guttural,
You can see the largest, the biggest sort of temple sort of in the centre of this island seems to sort of dominate the rest. It has a pair of rather familiar looking statues on the outside of it. You see the statue of a veiled woman and a man leaning on a staff with two crows perched on his shoulders. So you can recognise Lady Knight and Lord Grim, who seems to be the oldest and grandest of the temples. You also do recognise, not far away, a rather brightly decorated temple with the notice these gold coins hanging and sparkling in the light that are hanging down from the from the decoration on the porch, and a priest is going, "Need good favour in a trading arrangement? Got a long journey to go on. Want to make some money at the gambling houses? There is only one goddess for all. Takes all comers, outsiders welcome. Protect those down on their luck." And honour of Lady Luck be with you. But yeah, you're amidst all of this chaos.
Is there anything from the Fire Islands? One in particular.
You recognise a small. It's less of a temple, more of one of the small, almost sheltered like booth ones. A little brazier burning, and a sign saying, "Honour the Mother of Fire," and then a smaller sign going, "Out to lunch."
Chrysara will immediately go up to that one.
Yeah, you see this is sort of almost a brazier for burning of offerings, decorated with the depiction of the mountain itself, of the volcano, and sort of symbols around the edge, very, very Denvalan. Yeah, it's surprising to see that anything at all Denvalan outside of Denvala. Not many people leave.
Yeah. This is very rare to see anything outside of my homeland. But it is a nice touch, and I will go through my bag and see if I have anything to make an offering and put it into the fire.
Flames seem to just lick up a little more to consume it.
Don't forget your children, even when they're no longer there. Then I'll start scouting around for a spot so I can construct my little shrine. Oh, yes.
Okay, so sort of scouting around and hunting around, there is a patch of clear land, sort of tucked around the side of a temple dedicated to some old dwarvish gods, and sort of pinned in between that and a temple to the goddess of the deeps, which you recognise probably sounds a lot like Stormbringer under a different name. But yeah, there's this little patch of land in between the two. It looks like there perhaps was a structure here before that burnt down, but currently it's an unoccupied patch.
Perfect. Chrysara will start going around gathering any rocks nearby and any sticks and start making a very, very crude, rough looking little mini temple with a little shrine inside it. And then I'm going to take a sign and stick it right in front. And if I have any parchment, I'm going to say, the end is near, the mist keeps away, and put it on my sign right in front. There we go. I did promise I would build a shrine. I just didn't say to who. Does it look sturdy?
Torvald's still wandering around, seeing if he can find Thunderer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So, Chrysara, you look around and no, Torvald's gone. Is Eira still there? Or is she?
She probably wandered off with the rest of the luck.
Yeah. Yeah, so Chrysara, you finish your preparation, you stick your sign in the ground and... Nope, just you.
Well, I'll just reinforce it and try to make it look as pretty as possible and make sure it is clearly labeled for the King of the Mists.
But, yeah, Torvald, you go around, you find a pretty sturdy, solidly built the temple shrine area. There's a big wall around it, and you see there's a shrine to basically to the All Mother and her three sons. So there's sort of the main gods of Isfjell, including sort of there, fairly prominently and centrally, the Thunderer.
How
Yes.
large is the visage?
It's a pretty big, it's a sort of twice human-sized stone statue carved of a, like, axe-wielding figure sort of charging into battle. There's a few offerings scattered around the foot of it. Not that many, but a few.
You said it's made out of stone, correct?
Yes.
So Torvald is going to kind of walk up. He's gonna take. Try to see what I have for like offerings. He's gonna take out. There's a greatsword that's from the Gith tomb.
Oh.
So he's gonna take it out, and
It's big, ancient, great. Was it from the Gith or from the tomb?
yes.
A big Githian great sword with strange designs on it.
And he's gonna take it and he's gonna kind of set it into the stone in front, and then he's gonna touch the stone, and you're gonna see this figure, like, or the stone like kind of form around, like, 'cause basically it's gonna be the tip like into the stone, and then the stone is gonna form up around the tip of the blade, with like little lightning like things going around it, so it looks like it's almost like electric stuff going all up to it, maybe like halfway up the blade to try to like secure it in place. And then you're also like whatever he has left, he's also going to try to just a little bit more refined the Thunderer, so like maybe a little more chiseled and, you know, a little puffed up a little bit, maybe a little bigger bulge out front, you know, just whatever will help Thunderer's ego there. You're muted. So.
Just for so yeah, you're able to augment your god statue a bit, like just a bit of a makeover. I mean, it's worn away in places. It's definitely been exposed to the elements, so you know.
As I cast Stone Shape.
Bit of a freshen up.
What do you think of that, Thunderer?
And you do swear. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's not stormy. But you did swear off in the distance. You perhaps heard a faint rumble of thunder.
Aye. And then he'll just kind of like bow his head for a second, and then you know, kind of just go off to try to find the rest. Go back to where the Krasara is.
Yeah, head back towards Krasara and her newly built shrine. Alright. Eira, you have anything you wanted to do on your wanderings?
Whenever I visit Lady Luck's temple, I would just like to offer a prayer.
But yeah, Lady Luck, it's a modest but very nicely decorated temple. There's a lot of emphasis on gold and shiny things. It's almost like
Yes.
you know, a bunch of magpies have decorated this place with treasures.
Sounds right.
And a sort of a statue of a smiling woman holding a gold coin between her fingers, in offering.
I will just take a moment to pray for guidance, and just greet everyone there and just be like, people, hello.
Hello, are you a fellow follower? I see you.
Yes.
Oh, you have your shield, and yes, quite a lot. You recognise quite a lot of the worship. There's quite a lot of merchants and traders mixed amongst the priests, and you know, it's a very welcoming religion. Like she's a welcoming goddess, and there's
Lovely.
charitable offerings being handed out, and they will happily, invite you in for, tea and.
Yes. They will like.
Um,
I have to. I'll make a quick prayer, say hello to everyone quickly, and then I'll try to meet back where Kursara is.
Yeah, extricate yourself with somehow having ended up with like half a fruit cake.
Perfect. Yay. Does it have meat in it?
Doesn't appear to.
Perfect. I'll keep it.
All right, so you reconvene at Kursara's little shrine just as this figure is wandering up towards Kursara. It's a pretty like a half elvish man in a fairly plain grey clothing. This is new.
Yeah, yes, it is.
The Mist King.
Mm.
What does the Mist King have to offer?
What does the Mist King not have to offer? He is the king of the mists. He's the Fae King. He's dancing and music and parties. I mean, what more could you possibly want in a patron?
No, that's... The Fae are getting temples now.
Yes, he's quite powerful. He's a very, very good king.
Right,
Are you interested in joining?
Oh, no, I'd just like to drop by any new religions that pop up. Just see what's going on. I've already spoken for, so to speak.
Well, definitely spread his name, spread it
I
around.
will do. The Mist King.
Very, very benevolent king. Very, very powerful.
You said we are just getting back.
Yes, you're just getting back as you hear this. Well, yes, and the end is nigh.
Yeah, it is, but definitely want to join up with the Mist King so that you can help prevent the end.
Well, I will take that under advisement. If your Mist King should ever let you down, just remember that we at the Temple of Moondaughter accept all those of all faiths, even those returning from failed ventures.
Oh, it's not a failed venture. He's
No, wasn't saying it was. Just in case it does, this spot is considered a bit of bad luck.
what?
The
Marvel
last
just starts chuckling.
the last temple that was here burnt down. The one before that blew away. The one before that got hit by lightning.
He kind of points up to the sky.
And the one before that just sank into the ground.
I worked so hard on this.
It might be that whoever it is who doesn't like anyone using this spot is fine with the Mist King. But I just... Look, weird things happen on this. I feel the attention of too many gods in one place was perhaps a bad idea.
Probably
There's
was.
a reason all our tall buildings have lightning rods on.
That's probably the worst idea anyone's ever come up with. But if anybody's interested, the Mist King is here.
Well, yes, and I actually am interested because I actually heard of the Mist King.
You have?
Yes, as a fae rather than as a god, but it's
What
surprising to get a temple to something that actually probably exists.
Hey,
Exactly.
Thunderer exists.
No, I wasn't. I mean, the startup temples tend to be. I mean, I've never heard of bloop 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 bloop.
Aye. Well, you should go check out the new Thunderer.
I will do.
I made some improvements.
I drop by there quite often, being as that, our temple is very closely tied to theirs, always call them the, religious in-laws, I guess.
Well, if you're feeling a little more attracted to Thunderer's gifts, that's because of me.
Right. Right. Well, I will leave you to your temple, and I wish you better luck of it than the last few.
I hope so. But spread the word of the Mist King.
I will do. I will. Do you have pamphlets?
1 moment. I'll turn around and I'll rip a piece off of the sun. The blank piece, and then I'll start scribbling all about the Mist King as I can, and then I'll just sort of wave it to dry the ink. Pamphlet. I'll fold it up and hand it to him.
Thank you, lady. It was a pleasure to meet.
My name is Chrysara.
Quinn.
Very nice to meet you.
Yes. Well, I better be getting back to temple duties. But,
Nice to meet you, Lady Quinn.
sorry, ignore the hair. I am a guy.
You said Moon Sister, so I apologize.
No,
I was just talking about being a woke Viking, and I just assumed your gender. I'm sorry.
No, my mother's an elf. People it tends to cause confusion.
Well,
it's the long flowing locks. I don't even shampoo them. It just happens. It's just elvish hair. Anyway, I'll be getting on. Lovely to meet you.
Great meeting you too.
well, this is what you're going with for the temple.
Yes. Well, I did promise that I would build her a temple, and Fae typically hold you to their promises. I just never promised to whom the temple would be built for.
I meant more the quality of the construction.
What are you talking about? It's great.
All right. Well, I'd offer to help you, but stone's not really my thing. It's more metal. I don't have much command over stone.
Torvald, are you serious?
Aye? Have you ever seen me doing anything with stone like that? I've only made swords and mauls and stuff. With a hammer and steel.
What time of day is it?
By now it's probably, if you've faffed about long enough, it's afternoon. It's early afternoon, but you've probably got another sort of 4 hours or so till the sun goes down. Luckily, it's not far off midwinter, so the days aren't too long.
Well, since we made a temple to the Mist King, should we christen it with a dance, Ira? For old time's sake.
That. Yes.
Yes, we haven't done that in a while, have we?
It's been too long.
Sure.
I mean, I can't play music and I can't sing, so make something.
No one asked you to do either. It's okay.
I imagine there's some like bard-ish temple thing where people are singing a song to some god somewhere.
There's temple hymns in the background. You can dance along to what appears to be some kind of dwarvish chanting song coming from the temple next door.
The problem is like we can never follow up our first performance because didn't we both roll like nat 20s or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, but that was with the perfect timing. But yeah, that's for a performance of people dancing. Let's see how well you can christen the Mist King's temple.
Let's see. That's gonna be a 10. Actually, a 9.
Is that acrobatics?
No, performance.
Performance.
A 10 as well.
It's a solidly mediocre performance.
That's shift.
Bordering on bad.
Excellent.
But to be fair, it's not an easy song to dance to. Like,
No.
it's
It's like
just,
3
it's
different
just-
songs all jumbled together.
Yeah, one of them's more like Gregorian chanting going on, and then there's someone banging a gong, and there's something with cymbals going on. The rhythms gets all mixed up. But
Well, this isn't our best dance, but it's good to see you smile, Ira.
Thank
You've
you.
been a little serious lately.
Yes. There's just been a lot going on, and I just don't really feel the same way about things that I used to. I don't think.
You don't think what?
I don't know. This sword just makes me feel a bit more powerful, I suppose. More in control of what's going on around me. So I'm trying to take that control and accept it.
Are you sure that's what you want? Is it cursed or something?
I don't believe so. I mean, I'm attuned to it, and I think if I was cursed, something bad would be happening. I'm just kind of...
Well, you could argue changing your personality might be not that great.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get my family back together for the most part.
Well, I understand that, but if this is changing your mind in some way, it could get worse over time.
I suppose.
I've seen cursed weapons before, and it's not always sudden and obvious. So please be careful.
I will. I'm still mostly myself, I think. I still care about everyone.
Aye, but like I said, you haven't had it very long, and well,
Okay.
just let us know if you feel any different than you do now.
Okay, I will. Thank you for the dance.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you both for christening the new temple. I hope the Mist King will be happy with this, and it will give him a little bit more power.
Great.
Well, I don't give two shits about him, but
You
I
will
just
if-
wanted an excuse to dance.
You will if it comes down between some sort of Fey battle. I don't trust that mirror witch.
Well, yes. Agreed.
Well, are we able to head back?
Yes,
Aye.
hopefully my thing won't fall over.
Okay. So yeah, you're leaving your little temple behind as the sun goes down and a mist rises off the ocean. Whether it's coincidental or divinely ordained, you don't know. But,
I'll just nod at it as I walk past.
so yeah, so you make your way back across the Bridge of Bones and back through the bustle of New Valdia, and down towards Vorskill Manor. You can see the sort of the lights burning in the windows now, and ding ding ding. Ah, the fans are back.
Aye. Can we see him now? I'm so excited.
Come in. Come. He swings this big door open, and leads you sort of through the gatehouse and up a drive, lined with dead trees, to the front of the house. And it leads you inside, into what appears to be like a small sitting room. Goes, a representative of the master will be with you soon. Drinks?
No, thank you. We're fine.
He hobbles off, leaving you in this. It's a rather nice sitting room. There's about 3 sofas laid out around a low coffee table, bookshelves on the walls. It's very cold. There's no fire burning in the hearth. Hear a strange ticking noise somewhere in the background. It's tick tock, tick tock. sounds a bit like the inner workings of Skitter. Clicking away in the background. And then shortly after, another door opens and two figures walk in. One of them a young dark-haired woman, and the other a blonde-haired man. Good evening. Lord Vorskill, our father, sent us to speak with you.
Oh, lovely. We just wanted to have a look around. We've heard there's an interesting collection here, and we were curious to see.
Oh. We have art galleries. We have a small museum.
Lovely, either of those.
May I ask who you all are? We don't often get willing visitors.
We're all adoring fans. My name is Eira.
Hey, Torvald. Nice to meet you.
Sora.
I am a Catherine. This is Ivan.
Lovely to meet you.
And before we go any further, can I just ask you to please confirm a few things?
Of course.
None of you are perhaps holy warriors of an avenging god?
No.
Good. And none of you are on any great vendettas against the undead?
No.
Nope.
Nothing in particular. No.
I've
Well.
been dead once before, actually, so quite the opposite.
Yes, it's quite an interesting experience, isn't it?
Yes.
She was dead and then she wasn't, so I guess she's
Undead. Well,
Undead.
sister, consider yourself one of us.
Oh, thank you. It's an
You come to the
honor.
right place. This is a city built on life after death, and we sit so close to the borders of the realm beyond here that there are some places even where you can step straight through into the city beyond.
I think we were just there, actually.
Oh, you've made the pilgrimage.
Yes.
Taken the path from the forest of sorrow past the
Yes.
plains of despair.
Yes. That's
Aye.
now that we know the names, they're very apt.
Large dragon thing, shadow dragon, and
Oh, you went to the Mountain of Shadow. Few
Yes.
come back from there.
it was very nice. I guess didn't kill us, so that's nice.
Well, you've clearly found enlightenment.
Yes. Hoping to prove worthiness.
Death is
for,
nothing to fear.
Yes.
But well, you said you wish to join. All three of you wish to join.
Yes.
Potentially, I think we're very interested, but we would like to see what everything is all about. I get a little squeamish, and I was curious if I could see the process on one of the members of the people collection.
Oh. And at some point, I think for this whole exchange, I'm going to ask for a general deception here from you, Eira.
Sure.
Because
Woo.
Thunder would guide her.
He'll kind of put his hand on his
That's a. Are you casting guidance?
casting guidance.
What is that? +2?
It's a D4.
A D4. Great. So I got a 13, and then +4, so 17.
well, well, in this case, come with me. We'll we don't. This is quite a turn up for the books, isn't it, Ivan? Yeah. Right. Yeah, we don't usually get eager volunteers like this. But yeah, we've had some interesting additions to our collection recently.
Oh, really?
We like, so the upper part of the manor is the living quarters for us and our servants. There's me, Ivan, our father, and our other brother Otto. But the lower portions are mainly used for storing our extensive people collection.
Why so extensive?
Well, one wants a full range of flavours.
Ah,
You know, sometimes you're in the mood for a bit of a plump halfling.
Well, not yet, we don't, but I'm sure we'll understand.
And yes, and some exquisitely fine flavours. We've some fine pedigrees. We try to keep as many alive as possible.
interesting.
It just seems wasteful otherwise. When they just naturally regenerate more blood, it's quite miraculous, really.
Lovely.
Feeding them and they make more blood.
Yes, well, I'll be thinking about what my preference might be.
I think you might be into dwarf.
You think so? I was thinking I'm into see, I'm quite a hungry person, so if there's a pair of do you have any pairings that taste basically the same, so that way I can take a little bit from each?
Oh, we do have some twins in our collection. Yes,
Oh, I'd love to meet some twins.
yes, yeah, we got a lovely pair we acquired from an idiot Cursian.
That would be lovely.
But yes, we've also. Oh, you should see. You should see what we got in just the other day. Lovely young lady.
Oh.
You ever that something really exotic flavour? Just a little touch of the fae.
Oh wow.
We should definitely meet her because I'm definitely the type that I like is the fae. Fae, elvish, yeah, all that delicate stuff.
Green.
Green, yeah,
We've got some goblins.
not that green.
Do
Not
you have anything more earthy? Might be a little gamey and earthy and.
We don't deal in druids.
Uh,
Causes an awful lot of trouble. But it's really hard keeping them penned in.
Of course. Okay, well.
And also, it's part of our explicit arrangement with the Witch King in the north of the city. Like, we are not allowed to touch his people.
Of course.
well, maybe some other time then.
Oh yes, okay. So as we wend our way down towards the people collection, here we have family portraits. This is our father, Lord Vorskill, and me, and that's Colchis. She left, but she's doing well out there. She's got a burgeoning business in Telefen, I hear.
That's wonderful.
Right, and follow me down this way, and Catherine sort of starts leading you down this spiral stone staircase into darkness, and Ivan sort of hovering, like bringing up the rear behind the three of you, watching you.
I'll
Not
turn
saying
around.
very much.
At him.
He hangs back a little further.
Rude.
Yes. So we'll start here, and she sort of leads down this corridor. Like we try and keep them comfortable, but we do have to keep them locked in. They do keep escaping,
Understandable.
and we can only keep so many calm at once. Even my father's charms only go so far.
Of course.
Now, if you do you wish to view our lovely pair of twins?
Yes, I think so. I mean, there are three of us, so that would be lovely.
Well, I'm going to say none of you are. I was going to ask if any of you are feeling peckish, but I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves there.
Yes. Well, let's see them, and then depending on how appetizing they are, we can move from there.
She just opens up a door, smiles sweetly, and you see her sort of bringing out this big ring of keys. Sort of opens up this solid wooden door, and you see on the other side it is a cell, definitely, but it's a furnished cell. There's well, looks like it was a furnished cell. It appeared to be the smashed remnants of beds and tables scattered across the floor, and as Catherine goes to open the door, you hear a shout, and a figure sort of jumps out of the darkness towards her, wielding a piece of like bed frame. Like ah! And she misses her entirely, and you see this young man go sprawl flat on his face on the floor in front of a Catherine.
These are the twins.
You recognise your brother.
Excellent! That would be Uriell. Wow.
Torvald's gonna like the piece of wood, so he fell down, right, with like the piece of wood.
Yeah, he's kind of jumped out from behind the door and like tried to club her over the head with the wood, and it didn't.
So Torvald's just gonna
great.
put his foot on the piece of wood, just kind of like casually put his foot on the piece of wood in case he tries to pick it up.
Hey! And Catherine, shh. There's no need to fight. There you go. Go sit down nicely over there. Sorry. I should have warned you. They're a little. I don't know where the other one is hiding.
It's no bother. And he's gonna take the piece of the bed frame and go over to the bed because it's like open now, right?
Yeah. This room and the corridor outside. I don't have a map for this. This is way out of where I expected to end up.
So Torvald will like go and put the piece like where it goes, and put his hand on it, and you'll see the little sparks go as it stitches it together, and cast mending to kind of fix it.
There, good as new.
And yeah, you see your brother sort of kind of this glazed look comes over his face. He sits sort of back down on the edge of the bed, just kind of.
Has he seen me yet?
And he goes, Eira!
Torvald's like,
and
What
Ekaterina.
language is he speaking?
And he said Eira, so.
I know! I'll play dumb anyways!
You see Ekaterina sort of look from you to him, and back again, and you always sort of see as something clicks. And I think at this point, I'd like an initiative roll from all three of you.
My skin's blue. We look nothing alike. The same nose is a coincidence.
Yeah, this is my very crude attempt at a map for the room.
Oh, I love it.
I rolled a 7.
Alright, a 7 for. Advantage on initiative.
No combat, we said.
You said.
Yes. I was wrong.
I might just use placeholder tokens for now to.
I did originally say no combat, and then Tiss said, all of your family are here.
And we're like, yeah, we'll go into the vampire den.
I know.
I don't have currently a token for any of Eira's family members, so this currently
okay.
represents.
I will find them. I know exactly what they look like.
Bravo. Like that, right?
It's my default stand-in token, okay?
That's pretty accurate, actually. At least to Edwin.
Little stick figures.
Little stick figure, and hang on, where's my?
You should select everything and move it like down into the right a little bit, if you can.
Oh, but okay, yeah, I suppose I could.
Since you can't move around the screen.
Good point. There we go. Corridor and room. Beautifully, beautifully illustrated. And
It is quite beautiful.
do I say it myself now? Where's my?
Kind of disappointed because I know you could sketch that on a whiteboard like a million times better in like 2 seconds.
I know, this is the thing. Like I can. Like, it's so much easier just to go. I've got like little pillows and all sorts, but
Just
it's.
send you my Wacom tablet so you can.
I've got a tablet.
Oh.
I just don't have it connected up at the moment. So, it doesn't sketch as well on Roll20. Like I can sketch on there, but it doesn't. It just doesn't work the same as an actual pen.
Truth.
Like especially because Roll20 doesn't have like very good pressure sensitivity or any pressure sensitivity. Where's my? Yeah, sorry. No one on the rest of you gave me your initiative. That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, 18 for Chrysara.
Chrysara 18, Eira 10. It's like, I'm waiting for something, and then it's like, I'm waiting for me to do something. And that was roll some initiative. It's
The book out. Uh-oh.
yeah, I gotta get the book out.
Monster manual. Go away.
I think we also know which bit of the alphabet we're looking in here.
V.
V.
Somewhere in the back.
V is for vampire. And okay.
Very small rat.
And I is for Ivan. So yeah, put yourselves wherever. But yeah, so Chrysara, you see sort of Catherine sort of click that she might have just made a very idiotic mistake. And
Really?
yeah, it's what do you want to do about that?
Let's see, because it's just her. Ivan's not down here yet.
Ivan's out in the corridor.
Okay, so I am going to rage. Just go in here and click that real quick.
Is she clearly attacking us, or?
No, but she looks like she's just about to.
Okay.
Basically, as in, like, if she'd got higher in the initiative order, yes, it's this instant moment, and you see her click, and like
So
mouth open wider, and you see there's lots of sharp white teeth.
okay, so it's coming. We're not talking our way out of this. She's sweet. Okay, so I am going to attack.
A Turk.
Attack. Attack rolls.
Turk.
Oh, I have to attack. All right, so we're gonna roll. Oh, I can roll twice. Roll.
Roll in. And yes, Ira, you'll be up next after one of the vampires.
The first one is a 18 to hit.
18 to hit. Yeah, that'll hit.
All right. I'm going to hit her with my maul. Because I haven't given the command word yet.
No, you haven't.
Let
No.
me do that. Oh. Damage. Wielding. Attack. That is my... Sorry, my setup is completely different than what it was.
That's alright. It's
Are you attacking recklessly?
Yes, I need to... Well, hold on.
oh, work on this,
2d20s.
this lovely map whilst I'm at it.
And are you doing Great Weapon Master or no?
No, I didn't do Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
Okay, so I got 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9, 10, 11 points of damage because I gotta get my rage in there too. And since everybody did get 3 points of
10 hit
temporary
points.
HP.
10 hit points. All right.
Frost.
And then I get another attack.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
That'll hit. Yeah.
Everything. Sweet. 2d6. That is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 points of damage.
Okay. And you hear footsteps in the corridor outside as Ivan sort of comes running up and slams the door shut. He goes, I'll get help. You hear the clunk of the lock. Don't let them get out. And starts heading that. You hear footsteps in the hall. Eira, it's your turn.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. So Ivan's running away.
Ivan's locked you in and running away.
We don't know where Edwin is.
You've not seen Edwin, no.
Intriguing. Okay. I think I'll.
I
Try
was
to
just going to
figure
say,
out-
make me a perception check.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be figuring out where he is. Amazing. 16.
You get the very... So you sort of hear the strange shuffle of movement from the corner of the room up near Torvald. You just for the instant, you think you see, like, some of the fragments of splinters on the floor just move a little.
Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hop over the bed and try to grab him from under the bed.
It's like, he reaches out and grabs the invisible hand under the bed.
Edwin, we need to go.
But Ira!
Yes, we're going.
I was hiding. I was gonna.
We're in a cell. What does hiding matter?
I had a plan.
Well, it didn't work.
Euron spoiled it.
It's not his fault. He doesn't have the amount of room to maneuver that he usually needs. He's a big guy.
Is there anything else you want to do?
No, just squabble with my brother.
And Catherine dives forward towards Cressara. Slashes at her. Tries to slash at her with these. Was it long filed claw-like fingernails?
Awesome.
Doesn't work, and then kind of it was like launches herself bodily up at you because she's quite a short woman, and attempts to like sink her teeth into any exposed flesh she can find.
Ooh,
That isn't. That is a 19 to hit.
Barely, but yeah.
Yeah. As she sort of latches on. You're now grappled by her. She just sinks her teeth into like I don't know, upper arm. And that is 4 points of piercing damage.
Good. I have resistance to piercing damage. When
So
I'm ready.
2 points of piercing damage, and 7 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
And your hit point maximum is reduced by 7 points.
Ooh.
She just like
Groovy.
latches on. Like,
Wait, she had temporary hit points too.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So. That's what
Uh,
I've only been.
And you can hear Ivan's footsteps out in the hall, and Eira seemingly squabbling with one of her brothers. What's the other kind of blinks in surprise and looks around like, hey! But Torvald, it's your turn.
So Torvald, seeing Cressara get attacked, is going to be real mad.
Get off her!
He's going to run up, kind of past. He's going to like push him onto the bed, basically. He's going to run up next to her and pull his axe out and kind of spin it around, and he's going to swing it. And as he swings it, you just see the axe head just form out the front of it as he casts Spiritual Weapon. And he's going to have an axe. I'm just going to put it there. And then he's going to swing that at her. And that will be a lot. 25.
To hit? Yes.
25 to hit.
I think that hits anything.
That'll hit anything.
I think like that hits a Tarask.
Probably. Right. And then that's going to be 12 force damage from that swing. So the axe head's just going to kind of like go right into her shoulder, basically. And then he's going to take another swing. So as he swings around again with the hammer side of the of it, the axe hammer, hammer axe. That's gonna be, remember what the plus is, 14 to hit.
That will not hit. She sort of slides out the way, sort of hiding always behind Cressara's arm as she continues like.
Come at me!
And it's gonna be Torvald's turn.
Okay. Ira's brother sort of takes a stumbling step back towards him and goes. See him sort of reach around, then pick up one of the other bits of the first broken bread and come charging back towards, going, ah! This is a fight now! And he seems to be getting angry about it. Really angry. God, smug, annoying, blood-sucking woman.
Are you done?
Yes.
Leave this to us.
And you hear a voice call out from under the bed where Ira is, kill me, Ira. And go, yeah. Really annoying woman as well. Like, you know, your brother is like marginally less annoying than you are. And it's a rambling, slightly incoherent string of insults follow.
Well, they're definitely your siblings, that's for sure.
Yes.
Like Rich said. And Cressara, it's back to your turn again.
They are skilled fighters, I assure you. Uriel's just a bit too big to navigate himself.
All right, I am going to.
Definitely looks like he did some damage with this bit of wood.
Good. Did Edmund do some damage with his words as well?
Yes.
Nice. My brothers! I'm so proud of them.
All right, so I'm going to yell in anger as she latches onto my arm, and then I'm going to yell out the activation word for my maul. So now it is flaming bright, 40 foot of bright light, 40 foot of dim light.
This is, everything is brightly lit now in this cell.
Brightly lit. And I'm trying to figure out the logistics. Like
It's like trying to swat a fly that's landed on you.
Yeah, without breaking my own elbow. Okay. I think I can do that. I can do this. I'm going to attempt to hit her with my flaming maul. So let's see if that works. Roll that. 14.
No, the angle's just not quite right.
All right, so we are going to roll and try it again for my second attack. That is a 16 to hit.
That will hit, yeah. You managed to
Okay.
correct the angle.
So as I'm yelling at her to get off fire, burn her. And 8, 9, 10. Then, so that's 10 points of damage from the maul. Then we have 9 points of fire damage.
Okay. And you can't see what Ivan is up to. So you hear the running of footsteps off in the distance. But Eira, it's your turn. Urian has rushed in. Edwin's still sort of hanging back under the bed, but it's visible now.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the other bed. And am I able to occupy the same space as Urian?
I'll say you can shove him out the way.
Sure. So I'll go ahead.
Sibling privileges.
Yes, excellent. I'll go ahead and
For this,
I'll be on the bed and I'll put my hand on his shoulder and lean over and stab at her. Almost leapfrog, Houston has a ooh.
piggyback.
Yes, exactly. I'll hop on his back, why not? And
You have to stab. It's very thematic for the channel.
There you go.
Anytime we can stab.
Perfect. And then I will go ahead and use my weapon. 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Great. Let's see. So that'll be, I think it calculated 10 correctly. Yeah.
I think so.
So the 10, and then I'll have to do the d6 of my own accord. Great. So 10 slashing and then 4 radiant.
Yeah. Catherine's not looking quite so she's kind of hanging limply almost now onto Chrysara's arm.
Excellent. I will go ahead and slash again then. She's like a child, isn't she? This is awful.
She's a young woman. She's just a small young woman.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, so she's not a child.
Bad.
She's just
Not as bad. That's for my brothers. I'll slash again. Let's see. How's the 24 to hit?
Yeah, that will hit.
Great. It's only a 6 for damage. 6 slashing and then 3 radiant. 9 total.
Yeah, she's kind of just about clinging on as she sort of.
And I'll just hang out on Urian's back for the rest of the turn.
Tries to get another angle, getting in. She tears it more, tries to tear more chunks sort of out of Chrysara's arm. I think that one is that's over 20 to continue drinking Chrysara. So that will be 8 points of piercing damage, Chrysara.
Okay.
And
I have.
So that'll be 4 points.
And then I have temporary hit points, so that's 1 point of actual damage.
And 3 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 3. She's kind of almost instinctively now just trying to drink blood. It's you can see that she seems to be partially on fire, and is missing one arm somehow. But she was her last free arm. She slashes out with her claws. That's a 14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
And that's Torvald's turn.
I said get off of her!
And he's gonna swing the spiritual weapon around. That's gonna be an 11.
That will not hit. No.
Then he's gonna take another swing again with the normal weapon, and that's gonna be a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
All right. So that's gonna be 5 bludgeoning damage and 5 thunder damage.
So there's this loud, thunderous sound in this enclosed space. As a hammer hits the Catherine, like she just kind of disintegrates. First at the hammer blow, then there's like the reverberation of the thunder, and then crumbles into dust. And it's just this pile of dust and clothing on the floor at Chrysara's feet.
Well, that was disturbing.
We got her! Ira, we got her!
Chrysara, are you alright?
That was not. She flipped a chunk out of my arm.
Do you feel the urge to bite anyone by any chance?
Unless you're 5 and no. Oh.
You didn't need to know that.
My brothers are here.
Hi!
How old are they?
Younger than I am.
How old are you?
That's a good question, actually. I think that's one of the things I've forgotten. Who knows?
Yeah, 2 young men. They look to be the same age. Definitely younger than Ira. As to that,
They're only a few years younger than me.
yeah,
Like early 20s.
yeah, young men. It looks like if just stuck in a room for a while.
Yep.
But
They're scruffy.
scruffy. And sort of look around. Edwin just dusting some splinters out of his hair as he crawls out from under the bed. So I thought it was best I stay out of Urien's way.
Usually a good idea.
Torvald's going to take a look at Chrysara's wound and see if he can see anything that might be concerning. See if she might be infected by anything or...
Make me a medicine check.
Right. It's going to be a 23.
I mean, it's a pretty serious wound. Looked like she's lost a fair bit of blood, more so than the size of the wound would indicate. But don't think it's anything contagious, serious, or cursed. Like, it's just a nasty wound that's, knocked her back a bit for a while, but give her a good night's sleep and she should be all back to normal.
Aye, that's a nasty wound, but you've definitely seen worse. You'll feel better after a nice long rest.
Yes, definitely. So, how are we going to get out of here before that other nut job comes back?
Well, we best get going.
And Torvald will go and try to open the door.
Okay, the door is locked.
He will swing his spiritual weapon charged with force at the door.
Alright,
Preferably where the lock is.
I'm going to say roll me the damage on that, because giving it a couple of swings, you can't actually miss the door, I don't think.
11 force damage.
So it takes a clunk out of it. You see it starting to splinter and crack around the lock. And,
Then I'll take a swing with the hammer side as well. He flips it around after and then takes another swing at it.
they're pretty solid doors. Uriell leans into Ira. I tried kicking it down before.
It's okay.
I didn't have a magic hammer.
Yes, don't worry about it. I'm just happy you're alive.
That's 10 bludgeoning and 3 thunder damage.
And with the kind of the door kind of unlocks. It's not quite as dramatic as falling to bits, but you hear the as the lock breaks.
All right, let's go.
And
Get out of
Torvald
here.
will run out.
Alright. So you can see this is the stone staircase where you were led down. Leads back upstairs.
Head that way, I guess.
Yeah.
We're just making a break for it. Basically.
Making a break for it, alright. So you sort of run upstairs, you hear sort of shouts and consternation from somewhere else in the house, like, they're getting away! Because this whole process, it's not been that many seconds since you were down in the cell. And as you sort of
Sorry, died.
get upstairs into the house, you can see Ivan at the top of the staircase, just kind of ready to leap down onto you. And he kind of lingers for a moment, just holding onto the balustrade. Just looks like a slight hesitation and a pause. He goes, I think they went that way! And he heads off down the other corridor in the house.
Smart move.
And then Torvald will continue on.
Alright.
Is everyone else following, or you imagine?
I'm following, but to make my internet not stuck, I have Roll20 on my iPad beyond,
Gotcha.
and it's not allowing me to move my token.
That's fine. We're off the map now.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a temporary functionary map. We are back to the world at large.
Excellent. Yeah, I think really
Yeah,
it's just kind of a
continue.
mad dash to the.
Yeah, mad dash as you're legging it up towards you. See the aged sort of hunched over gate guard sort of look up in alarm as you come hurtling towards him down the garden path, and he just takes 2 steps back out the way. And yeah, you're able to unbar the gate and get out into the night. It's a lot less trouble than you expected. But yeah, you head off into the night with Eira's brothers in tow. Where are you heading?
Anywhere.
Away, far away.
Where?
We've
Back
created
to
a
the
lot of trouble
hotel.
in this town. Somewhere safe.
Back to the inn?
Probably, yeah.
Alright. So, as you leg it back through the dark streets, back up to the harbour side inn, ready to prepare and make sense of what your next move is going to be.
Can you do that invisible thing again?
Yeah, I don't know that. Kind of, I don't have that many spells I can do yet. I'm still learning.
Well, you're gonna cost me a gold apiece if you can't, so try harder.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can. For money, you should have said. I can do it one more time. And Edwin disappears.
Is the body or the bouncer there?
Yeah. Hey,
Aye, we've got one more guest. I hope that's okay.
well, you'll have to pay.
Aye, that's fine.
That's 4 gold total for tonight.
Aye, here you go.
Alright. Here you go.
We'll walk in.
You
Yay.
head into the inn, and I think that might be a good point to leave things. Like, we'll pick up.
Has to be the most anticlimactic use of invisibility ever is saving 1 gold piece.
It's up
Torvald.
Edward's alley, so don't even worry about it. Something
Yeah.
you would do.
For now, you have escaped for a skill. Whether or not anyone will come after you remains to be seen.
And special announcement: Tam and Mama now have to abandon their characters and play my brothers instead.
Potentially, yes, yeah.
No negotiations.
Well, we'll figure out next week what Eira and Actaea spent that day doing, and what kind of mischief they got into and out of before managing to find the rest of the party.
Yes.
And yeah, what you're going to do with the growing Stratus family? You had one Stratus at the beginning. Now it's many Strati, I guess.
Strati.
Strati. What's the?
I'll just adopt them all. It's okay.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think they need adoption. They've already got a family. That's the...
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be your kid.
Hey! Kisara is a loving mother.
But yes, so you've rescued family members. You've saved other family members from the consequences of their own mistakes.
A good day for the Stratus family.
A good day for the Stratus family. But yes, you're still within the heart of the Vorandra and its cabal of necromancers and vampires. The question is, next week, will we be able to escape the city? And if so, where to? And the biggest question, will you be able to get back to your boat before someone nicks it?
Hopefully. I mean, we do have a very loyal village. I did revive one of their people.
Yes, I think that Svanhild will defend your boat to her death, and her cow's death, and her husband's death.
It was worth it. The diamonds were worth it.
Yes.
We didn't know at the time.
Totally worth it.
Yes, but
Thorvald's heart just feels so much lighter now. He's like, oh, it's a good thing we did those things for those people.
because money. But yeah, so hopefully we get the full full gang together next week. And
Next week?
I think it's next week.
I don't remember.
Yeah, next week.
Cool.
I've got it penciled in for next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's September.
We weren't here last week. We're here this week.
I was thinking it was October and it was the other thing.
No, it's Halloween. We're doing some of us are doing a special one shot. And
Yes, I didn't say what it was because I didn't know if it was public yet. So
it is. We're doing Call of Cthulhu for Halloween. So it's some time off yet, but until then it's Isfjell. But yeah, come Halloween, I got some exciting plans, and I think Moira and Chael have been brave enough to join in, along with Tam and Raven and Ravenia, which will get confusing not at all.
Are there any other shows, announcements, major things? We're still working on the giveaway, I believe.
I believe so, yes. Yes, we're still working towards the giveaway, so if you haven't already, follow us on YouTube. You will occasionally get Isfjell episodes as and when I get around to doing my end of things, and I'm hopefully a few updates and other videos as and when. But yeah, give us a follow. It's free.
We also have one shot on Tuesday. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Space.
Which sounds, I don't know what it's about, but it sounds brilliant for two great reasons.
It's gonna be
space and horror.
Yes.
Horror and space.
It'll be me, Zach, Shanky, a couple other people. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least.
What system is it?
I believe it's Dead of Night.
Okay, you're all dead.
Yes, most
You're all
likely.
dead.
We're excited. It'll be fun.
But yes.
Eastern.
Something time Eastern? What time Eastern?
Is it 8 p.m. Eastern?
I believe so. I believe so. I should know more about it since I'm in it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I just show up.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Tam just bugs me for an hour and goes, "Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming?" I'll be there.
Don't forget. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for joining us for this run through, and goodbye.
Have a great day. Thank you.